But I was thinking too, you know, if he was selfish, he would have been like, yeah, go ahead.
There you go, kill him. If he was prideful, if he was cocky, if he was like a lot of Israelites today,
Yeah.
you know, the truth only comes from me. You can't get the truth anywhere else. Yeah, he could have did that. You know, think about a lot of brothers that got power and a little wisdom now. They get caught up on that power and start tripping. So Moses was a perfect example to keep us humble. You know, and this exactly what you're bringing out. And that's Exodus what?
It's 32 verse 10.
Exodus 32 verse 10, where the question was, everybody say shalom to everybody online.
Shalom.
We are live. You brothers and sisters online, we're going to give y'all a second to go ahead and log in. And if you have any questions, go ahead and now send us the questions before we start getting class going. I'm going to send this out really quick. This link. But that was a good question, Doc. That was Exodus what?
32 verse 10.
Exodus 32 verse 10. Yeah, that was a good one. You got another one?
Con. This one's actually down on verse 20. And it says, and he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in the fire and ground it to powder and strawed it upon the water and made the children of Israel drink of it. So I was wondering, why did he make them drink of it?
Okay, where are we at again?
This is Exodus 32 verse 20.
Exodus 32 verse 20. Exodus 32 verse 20. Oh, 1 second. Go ahead.
And
read it one more time.
And he took the calf which they had made and burnt it in the fire and ground it to powder and strawed it upon the water and made the children of Israel drink of it.
Mm-hmm. You know, like, I mean, when you get into demonic worship, Satan worship, what do? They drink the blood, right? They partake in feces, right? to the point to where you go to these Illuminati rituals, they peeing on you, you know what I mean? And some of them drink the blood, you know, literal blood of babies. They do that stuff, right? So this is what they were doing. Why do you think the Most High was so angry? Why do you think Moses, the first 10 commandments, he broke them? They weren't just down there like it shows on TV, dancing around a calf. They were committed filthy acts. Remember, they just came out of Egypt. They learned all these customs from the Egyptians. So, that was sort of that custom that they learned from the heathens. You know, to drink, I guess drinking the water is a nice way of putting it, right? But when you look at really the acts of devil worshiping and their wicked customs, they were actually ingesting whatever filth that came from their sacrifice.
Because I was thinking also, like, when you would say like the scripture that says a dog returns to his vomit.
Right.
So I was thinking like that was a vomit that, you know, they were dealing with in Egypt, and the Most High made them return to it, like maybe by drinking it, maybe to show them like this is as a symbolism or something like that.
That too, you could go there with it, because the scripture does say the dog returned back to his vomit, and they were turning back to the Egyptian customs, right? You know, but you know that ingesting it out, that goes deep. That goes into the rituals of these gods. Yeah. Yeah, that's another good one. These are good questions, man. These are good questions you got, because, and good ammo too. Just to show you about these Illuminati customs, these Egyptology customs, what they really do and how they partake in these things. You know, so this is, a lot of y'all need to be, that's why I like questions. Because a lot of these questions is ammo to destroy, just these customs. Destroy, what you got our people believing in this Egyptology. And we did that. Yes, we did. The wicked of us, though. Remember that. The wicked of us did that. So the righteous, we were sitting back. Remember when the Most High put a separation for Moses and Korah and Nathan? He was like, listen, we're going to make a separation. Everybody with Moses, stand over here. Everybody with these cats, stand over there. Most High swallowed them up. So there wasn't everybody being wicked. There was just a lot of wicked niggas in there.
I see.
Yeah. It's just like now, it doesn't change. A lot of wicked Israel. Okay. Any other questions? Do we got anything online? Okay. I know you probably got more. You got a lot. It's all good. Go ahead. We'll do a few more. We got a little time. Okay. I'm not gonna go too long though, because we do want to we go over so many questions and then we don't get this full class going. Okay. So go ahead. But listen, you work Saturday. You're gonna be here Saturday morning. See, you missed a lot of these things. Like in the reading, in the Sabbath readings in the morning, bro, we've touched on so many different points and in the readings. So what you want to do is start going back on YouTube and looking at the old Sabbath morning classes. And I'm hoping Thalawam got on there and made it a point to separate the morning classes from the night class. Because sometimes remember, Sabbath is from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. So, but if you go on there, I think we got it. You need to go and look at the old Sabbath ceremony class, because we put the reading online. And a lot of these questions, a lot of these points come up during the Sabbath reading. So, but go ahead.
I could leave it at that, actually, but...
like I said, we got time. People will get on.
Okay.
Get on, and once again, y'all that are online, getting online right now, you know how we do. We try to leave it open for questions if you have any questions. So now's the time. Not when we start class. Not saying that you can't ask questions when we start class, but this would be a better time before we start on our topic. Go ahead,
this one's Exodus 32, verse 32. Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book which thou hast written.
This is cold. This is cold. Once again, why Moses, in the eyes of the Most High, was the man? For him to say something like that. Blot me out of what book? You got to think about what he's saying here. Blot me out of the book of life for these wicked niggas? You have to have love for your people. And a lot of our people don't. A lot of brothers and sisters in the truth don't. You come in, you get the knowledge, now you're high supreme Sabine. You know what I mean? And then you're like, I got the knowledge, and you niggas are garbage. Go to, hold that. Just with your question, which was in where? Where are we at again? What was his question?
It's at Exodus 32, verse 32.
Exodus 32, verse 32 is his question. And then I want to add with that, obviously he's studying in Exodus, but I think it's Hebrews. But it's just showing you about Moses. What's your question there? That's so...
Oh, I was like, he was taking the fall for everybody?
Yeah. Yeah, read it again. Exodus 32, read it again.
Yet now, if thou wilt forgive their sin, and if not, blot me, I pray thee, out of thy book which thou hast written.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. He was ready to take on He was ready to take the punishment for Israel to the point to where he was blotted out the book. That's humble, bro. That's humble. How many Israelites will do that for another brother? Now, Moses was a man. Moses was not Christ. So you say, oh, well, that Christ could do it. Moses did it. He showed an example. That's why brothers have to, and sisters got to understand what level we have to come to. When you think you obtain the level of humility, you have it. You know, we were talking about it the other day about Mary washing Christ's feet with her hair. That takes a level of humility and care and love and compassion. And a lot of our brothers and sisters, when we come and get this knowledge, you can't be high-minded. Even though they're still filthy out there and you got a lot of rebellious, hard-head, stiff-necked niggas, when you show them the word, they don't want to turn. You still got to be humble. You still got to understand that you were like that. And they might not get it now, but they will. Most High just got to whoop a lot of their butts. There's got to be a lot of ass whooping going on. You know, a lot of brothers and sisters in here, they'll come in, they'll get the knowledge, they'll leave. It's okay. It's okay because some of them, I mean, you don't want them to go down that path, but most of them got to get their butt whipped. They might have to be more in the world to show how the world doesn't have love and how the knowledge is going to increase them and change their mind and their spirit and all these things. How you get in the knowledge and it blesses you. And so that happens. Where is it? Hebrews what? Hebrews 5:2. But just on your question, this to add with that Exodus 32 verse 32. This is Hebrews 5:2.
Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 2.
Uh-huh.
Who can have compassion on the
Right, Hebrews 5:1.
Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 1.
Right.
For every high priest taken from among the men is ordained for men in things pertaining to the Most High.
So every high priest that is taken from among men, they're ordained for men. You understand? You're taken from among men, you're ordained for men. Brothers and sisters can't get that. They think it's about knowledge. They think I got wisdom. I'm a Hebrew Israelite, I can talk wise, I can pull a lot of scriptures. You're pulling from among men to be ordained for men. This is not just, oh, you're the pastor, you're the preacher. He said, you're a nation of kings and priests. So it's just not one brother. This is not one, oh, brother, that's what you do. You're a nation of kings and priests. You're getting this word to teach and to be ordained for the brothers and sisters out there in the world. Go ahead.
That he may offer both gifts and sacrifices for sins.
Right, and that's what we did in the Old Testament, right? That's what we're doing now. The gifts and sacrifices is not animals no more. It's this word, it's this knowledge. Right? Go ahead.
Who can have compassion on the ignorant?
What were they going to do?
Have compassion on the ignorant.
They were going to do what?
Have compassion on the ignorant.
No, they were going to look at him like, I'm better than you.
Have compassion on the ignorant.
I think I'm above you.
Have compassion on the ignorant.
I got the knowledge and you niggas are garbage.
Have compassion on the ignorant.
I know we want to feel that way sometimes because you look at them and be like, dang, you're wicked, you're rejecting the Most High. But that's not your job. Your job, vengeance of the Most High's. Your job is to have what?
Compassion on the ignorant.
Yeah, go ahead.
And on them that are out of the way.
Yeah, we gotta have compassion on them. Because they don't know. They don't know. Right? Go ahead.
For that he himself also is compassed with infirmity.
Because you know that you will be in the same predicament in an infirmity, in a battle, in weakness, and you yourself you're going to need help too. So that's why this is how we look at people. You don't overjudge them and you don't misjudge them. Why? Because you know yourself are going to be compassed with infirmities One time, sometimes in your life, and you're going to need what? Help. You're going to need help. You know what I mean? So that high-minded spirit of I'm here and you're there, you can't do that. You got to stay humble. And that's where, going back to your question in Exodus 32, verse 32, Moses was humble. He was humble, man. You get that? You got another one?
No, I just wanted to point out too, real quick. If you go to Revelations chapter 3 and verse 5, you gotta see that the book wasn't written for Moses, but Moses was in tune with the Most High. To even know about his name being blotted out and these things like that shows that these men wasn't entertaining themselves with stupidity. These were men that were renowned. They were dealing with wisdom. So just read that.
Revelation chapter 3 and verse 5. He that overcometh, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name out of the book of life.
So Moses knew that his deeds can either make or break him. So as we grow in the truth and we grow in wisdom, you got to take that just like Moses took it. He already knew it, and he didn't even have the book. We got the book showing us that our mistakes can get us put in a bad situation with the Most High. But I just wanted to show you that, man, that even though Moses didn't have this, but he knew there was a book. He knew that the Most High took record.
Perfect. We got some questions online real quick. Go ahead.
I missed last class. I wanted to know about the law being done away with. So I wanted to go to Galatians 5, 1 and 6, and Galatians 4, 8 and 9.
Okay. What questions they had on that? They had questions on those specific scriptures?
Yeah.
Galatians what?
Galatians 5, chapter 5, verse 1 through 6.
Okay. All right, listen, we touched on this too, and it's a lot of these questions when you're asking right now, you can go watch the old class.
Right.
All right? So you can watch Wednesday's class and get your questions answered. But I'm gonna go over it for you real quick. We'll go, what is it, Galatians what?
Galatians 5, 1 through 6.
Galatians 5, 1 through 6.
Oh, it's the same book?
Oh, right, yeah, hey. Well then, yeah, I didn't know it was the same brother. I thought it was somebody else. If it's the same, what's his name?
It should be, what's his name?
Tony?
Tony, yeah, Tony. We actually went over that question for you Wednesday.
We
So
actually went over the whole.
we went over the whole chapter. So
He said he missed last class.
yeah, well after this class, go look at the Wednesday's class. It's online.
Yes.
And what was it on there? Wednesday's class. What's the name of it?
Fighting for your treasure.
Fighting for your treasure?
Right.
Wednesday's class is called Fighting for Your Treasure. But in the beginning, we go over your question first, specifically for you. So instead of just repeating that, go on there and check out the class. Because in the beginning, I guess majority of the class really was Galatians.
Right, because I actually knew that it was a brother Tony that I wanted him to tune in. So I went ahead and posed that question to the class and to the priest so that you could actually go into that class and pull your questions out.
Right. So okay, yeah, let him go over it.
The one that you and Ariel
Yeah, it's called
Fighting for the Prize.
Fighting for the Prize. Yeah, that's Wednesday's class.
For your treasure. What, yeah.
Fighting for the Prize is called?
Yeah, that's what it is.
He's looking at it right there. Fighting for your that's what we labeled it on YouTube.
Treasure. Yeah.
Fighting for your treasure or prize? It's prize on YouTube? Okay. All right. So yeah, check that out. We actually went over that.
Okay, the next one. Oh, he said if you try watching it, but he freezes.
It just skips a little bit?
Tell them the whole time.
Huh?
Tell them the whole time. It just skips a little bit.
It just skips a little bit, but it goes back? It clear up. It should clear. Listen, if you please, you gotta make sure that, cause that's why class was choppy, and it's recording choppy. Did it stop?
It froze.
It's fine. Go back, you're gonna have to, let's see if it keeps going. Does it keep going?
Yeah, it's going, it's just a stick like that. They're looking at this.
It should pick up now.
Is it picking up?
Yeah.
But
Blurry.
it should clear up.
Yeah, this is the part where it was unplugged, so it was just streaming a little bit. But right now it's going.
Okay, it should pick up. Sorry about that. All right, did we have any other questions?
Just the Gadite.
Oh, the Gadite. Do we got the lost tribes and promised lands over there? Or did they jack me?
I think
That was not one.
Yeah, he might have took that.
He has one.
What books we got over there?
Come.
That's it. Is it right there? Eh? On the top? No, that's not it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Y'all cats can't jack my book either. All right. Yeah, they like, I gotta get that.
No, it was up there.
I'm not saying, I'm not I had that same question, to be honest with you.
Well, Gad, or the North American Indians, right? When you go into, first of all, I mean, we're gonna take off the whole class for this. But when you go to second, don't we got this online? Didn't Thawam go over this? Yeah, where is it? Find it, because then we can refer to it. Because if not, it's gonna take over the whole class. But when you go into the Assyrian captivity in 722 BC, when we were in captivity under the Assyrians, and you go to 2 Kings, the 17th chapter.
5-8.
Yeah. I don't want to go over this really because it's going to take up the whole time. But go ahead. Go ahead. Where are we at?
2 Kings chapter 5 verse 8.
Yeah, if you can find where he
17.
go on there and look and see if where he went over this, because these are questions that we already went over, and we're just kind of repeating them as new people get on there. But if y'all go to our YouTube, we got all of our classes on there, man. Or hit up Thahawam and ask him when did he go over it. Maybe we can find a link for them. But what happened was, according in the Assyrian captivity, you know, the two kingdoms were divided. The kingdoms were divided from the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Now you have the northern kingdom, which was where's the 12 tribe sign?
It's getting redone.
It's getting redone.
To bring it back.
Well, the northern kingdom would be what? Who knows?
Another one.
What?
That was it was Ephraim, Issachar.
Right. So the head would be who?
Oh, Judah.
No. The northern kingdom.
Northern Kingdom.
Yeah, it would be Ephraim. Okay, and then the southern kingdom, which was who?
Judah, Levi.
Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Okay, so the kingdoms were split. Why? Who knows? King Solomon. What happened? He did wicked. He went off, right? He went out of the way. But this comes from David. David messed up, right? Dealing with Uriah the Hittite, right? Putting him to death. So the kingdom was split into two because of their sins, right? Now, the nine, we call it the 9.5 with the 10 tribes. Why? Because Levi, they go with every tribe. Everywhere, Levi didn't have a specific land. They were everywhere because they were the priests. So we say 9.5 or 10 tribes because Levi went with all the tribes. So in the Assyrian captivity, this is what we're going to read about in 2 Kings
17 and verse 5.
7. And it wasn't 722. It was 933, right? It should be 933 BC. Okay. Go ahead. So what we're going to read about is the 9.5 going in captivity. What does this got to do with what?
There's a cable show on it.
There's a cable show on it?
It's called On Latino, the Native Americans Israelites.
Okay. All right, send them the link. That way we don't have to go over everything. We're gonna all this. Send them the link. We've touched on a lot of these, but when you go over, since you're gonna send them the link, I'm just gonna talk about it. When you read 2 Kings, the 17th chapter, we went into captivity under Assyria, Shalmaneser, and then what happened was we ended up leaving. That's where you go to. That's where you go to the Apocrypha, 2nd Esdras
13 and 40.
13 and 40. And it tells you from us leaving, the 9.5 from leaving, how they got over to the another land. And this is where you coming, or the so-called white people, the Spanish coming to America is not a coincidence. When they got to America, who was here?
Native Americans.
The Native Americans. They were called the Native Americans, but biblically we know that they were the 9.5 tribes. Okay? And we touch over all of that. Some of the history books, this is one of the main ones we use. This white man right here documented when the conquistadors, the Spaniards, came over here to America. It was recorded the customs of the Native Americans. And this is just one insert. There's a few in here. And I'm going to read about, actually, this is more going into the, I think it's touching on both of them. Let me read it. But this is Lost Tribes and Promised Lands by Ronald Sanders. Okay, so what we did here is this. You go to Deuteronomy, you read the curses of the 12 tribes of the nation Israel. That's set across the board. All these curses were going to come on the whole nation. When you read it in Kings, as we befell to these captivities, we found out that in Jerusalem during the time of Christ, who was there? Who was in Jerusalem during the time of Christ? Now, majority of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Yeah, there were still some tribes there, like it tells you about the tribe of Asher, but a lot of the tribes were not there because they already had left in 933 under the Assyrian Empire. They left to the another land. Y'all got that? Okay, so that's why you read during the time of Christ, a lot of the tribes weren't there. Okay, so where were they? Why does the so-called Jews tell you in 933 BC the 9.5 ceased to exist? Because they don't have, first of all, what they don't use is the Apocrypha. And they don't go to that reference. We know that they left and they came to another land. What other land was that?
Americans.
The other land was Americas. Right. So y'all get that? And like I said, brother, I'm only brushing over it because we're not going to we'll take up the whole class going over all this. But this the Indians, Mexicans, you might call them Native Americans. They called us Indians. We know they were the 12 tribes. But here's an insert in here. This is page 187 in Lost Tribes and Promised Land. It says here, but even if we set in the questions of his origins aside, Duran's work suggests that he viewed the Indian dynasty from a perspective influenced by the new Christian experience of his time, whether he was conscious of this or not. For with increasing frequency and conviction, Duran came to see elements of Judaic character in the old Aztec religion. So, what you're putting together here now is archaeology. This is why when you go to New Mexico, they find Hebrew in New Mexico. Why? They don't find the modern Hebrew. They find this Hebrew. So when you have to have archaeology, anthropology, and history to link this up. It ain't just, the Bible don't even tell you, the so-called Negroes, you're the true Jews in America. You got to have history. It don't tell you that the black man in America, you are the people, you're the true Jews. It don't tell you that. You got to go to Deuteronomy. You got to go to Deuteronomy and go through the curses to say, okay, how do we know who the true Jews are? And there you'll be able to say, well, do they match up to the white people that are calling themselves Jews? Or does it match up to the people that came over to another land on cargo slave ships and sold and whipped in another nation, right? You got to match it up historically, because that's the only way it matches up. So same thing with the 9.5 tribes. When they came over here, when they seen the Native Americans, the Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, the Toltecs, they seen all these Indians. They said, okay, these guys why are they celebrating like Jews? Why are they following Judaism, right? This is what is going on in these white people's head. At first, this tendency appears only as a fervent search for Jewish ideologies. So they're thinking like, maybe it's just a coincidence, right? Maybe it's just they're following certain Jewish things, right? It says, provoked, check this out, by Aztec customs such as the eating of unleavened bread on certain days of the year. What is that? The Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Passover. So this is what they see Aztecs doing, right? Indians doing. It says the prohibiting of drinking liquids after the eating of certain ritual foods and the use of baths for purification, baptism. So they were following the high holy days and baptizing themselves. In time, it begins to seem to Duran like overwhelming evidence that the Indians are indeed from the lost tribes of Israel. Like, this is history. Check this out. The Indians are indeed descendants of the lost tribes of Israel, and he opens his last and most important work. Oh, here it is. This is his other book, The History of the Indies of New Spain. That's another book you got to get. With with an unqualified assertion to this effect is this in this way, even certain fundamental legends came to explain, such as okay, all right. So there's another one though. I don't have the page in here. It's another one. There's another insert in here. Hold on, let me see if I
want to have one book that was basically how the slaves were speaking Hebrew to the Indians.
Yeah.
I saw a documentary about how the way the temples were made with the Incas and the Mayans, and the temples that were made in Egypt. Remember, we built Egypt. So how was that same process in a whole other side of the planet made? Because we the ones made those. And then the same white man who used the things we didn't have, like computers, can't even formulate it. They can't even because they use mathematics to square out buildings, and they can't pull it up.
I thought I had it written in here, but I write them on the front, but I didn't. There's another insert in here. I think it's in this one, or it might be in the other, the island of the history of the Indies of New Spain. But it says that when they heard them praying, it says they were praying Yahweh Alahai Yahweh Yahweh Echad, which is the Lord our God, the Lord is one. And this is documented. You know what I mean? So this isn't the elders that got this knowledge, High Priest Yeshaya, that brought out a lot of the history. It wasn't some guy sitting behind his computer jacking off to Facebook. These were men that actually dedicated their time, you know what I mean, in life to history, archaeology, and anthropology. Because it ain't just this. You add this with the records of them finding Hebrew Even the white dude, what's his name? Fox News. Glenn Beck.
Oh, yeah.
This dude, go on YouTube. He starts to bring it out. And he no longer works at Fox News. Yeah, I don't know if y'all seen that, but that was scary. I never thought I see in my time the white man bringing out that how the Hebrew matched to these Native Americans. This is information, man, that you know. So when you go back scripturally and you go back with the history, the archaeology, it matches all up. So I mean, besides Deuteronomy should be the first thing. Oh, what all the customs, you know, all the curses that came on them, it should be without a doubt. But for the doubters, the one that don't believe, look, we got the evidence. When the white man came over here, they seen us. They were documenting what we were doing. We were speaking Hebrew. We were, and remember, we were still off. So don't think that everything we was doing was on point. You know what I mean? Smoking peace pipes. They were. It's like now we were going off. Think about it. We thought we're going to leave Jerusalem and go to another whole land and keep the laws of the Most High. Think about that. That's stupid. We're going to leave and go to the heathens land, go to another land instead of the land the Most High gave to us. But that was all due to Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, 47 on down, where he said he would send us to another nation. And we would be scattered throughout the world. So those are some evidences that you're gonna read about in that YouTube link. But we go over more books and the YouTube online. We go over all the books. We just unloaded with the ammo on there. So you need to check that out. Okay. So any other questions? What time is it? Yeah. We'll do one more question and then we'll start class.
Yeah, I had a question.
Yeah.
What is a curse word? What is that from the curse word? And what the bad word that they say ain't really curse word?
Yeah, you hear that, brothers, you know. Check this out. Go to your pocket for listen, a curse is I hope you die.
Yeah.
That's a curse. You know what I mean? That's how we live ancient. When you read it in the Bible, like you put a curse on somebody. So what we think is curse words today is not curse words. What we use today is bad words. Bad words, you know what I mean? They're, you know, or the Bible calls it filthy communication.
Foul language.
Foul language. So yes, there is a difference between curse words and filthy communication. Either way it go, the scriptures tell you about using filthy communication. Right? And it tells you about curse words. So yeah, we definitely have to, it's a line. Yes, we know it's a line because if we say ass, some people think that's a curse, a bad word. To me, ass is not a bad word. Ass is in the Bible. You know what I mean? The Most High calls you, he calls us, he says we act like asses. You know what I mean? So, yeah, he calls us stupid. He calls us whores.
Yeah.
He calls us whores. He calls us bastards. So, but at the same time, we got to be conscious of how we look with certain words too. You know what I mean? I'm not saying, I'm not going to let these so-called Christians put us like, now we got to talk all nice. Because you have to our people, they're stubborn, they're hard-headed. You know what I mean? So, like I use the word nigga a lot because a lot of our people act like that. They act that way. So the whole point is to get our people not to act like niggas, monkeys, coons, and wetbags, and to act like what? Hebrew Israelites, princes that have power, right? But either way it go, I think your question is kind of, you're trying to figure out the difference between a curse word and a bad word.
Yeah, I kind of figure that that's the curse, you know, curse.
Right.
Might have an accident or something like that. Yeah, that's the curse word, but what is you know, like you said, when you draw the line, like SHITDAMASSML, you know, I know, and it got to do with how you use it too, like, right.
Yeah. See, that's talking about oaths. Yeah. See, right here. No, check this out. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, I got it. But you see that, right?
Yes, sir.
Where's the one? Filthy communication, real quick. Somebody get that for me. Go ahead. Go there. Where is it, sis? Yeah, you see that? That's cold, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, this one right here.
Talking about Colossians 3:8.
Yeah, go to Colossians 3:8, then I got another one.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 8.
Right, Colossians 3:8. Go ahead.
But now ye also put all these: anger, wrath,
Right.
malice.
You got to put away what?
Anger.
You got to put away what?
Anger.
Right.
Wrath.
Right.
Malice.
You got to put anger away, wrath, and malice. Amen. Go ahead.
Blasphemy.
Yeah. Read.
Filthy communication.
There you go. It says what?
Filthy communication.
And where are you at? Colossians 3:8, right?
Colossians chapter 3, verse 8.
Go ahead.
Filthy communication out of your mouth.
Yeah, that tells you right there. Like, we don't supposed to, be cursing people out. You know what I mean? You gotta stay away from a lot of that language, because all it's gonna do is make the word look bad. So we gotta be professional, but at the same time, there's a line to where you start toning it down to where, this knucklehead in front of you don't get it. Because our people's hard-headed. They're not going to get, listen, Jesus wants you to get right. It's like, nigga, you need to stop what you're doing.
Why are you calling me?
Right. Why are you calling me nigga? Because you're acting like one right now.
Wasn't there
Yeah.
2 Corinthians 11:6 was Paul, he was rude in speech?
Right. Rude in speech. Right. Exactly. But see, rude in speech and cursing somebody the hell out, it's two different things. Because look, he says filthy communication. Right? Let me add another one. Go to Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha, 23 verse 13.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2.
Oh, you want to go? No, we can go to after. We go to after. Yeah, that's perfect.
Ecclesiastes chapter 23 and verse 13.
Right.
Use not thy mouth to use not thy mouth to intemperate swearing.
Right. So, and I'm gonna read it out of the annotated Bible and Apocrypha for you. It says, "Do not accustom your mouth to coarse, coarse. Then it says foul language. You see that? That same scripture, it says, "Do not accustom your mouth to coarse, foul language, for it involves sinful speech." Read it again there.
Use not, Ecclesiastes 23 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
Use not thy mouth to intemperate swearing,
Mm-hmm.
for therein is the word of sin.
Right. So you see that? The annotated Bible Apocrypha gives you a little more edification. It kind of simplifies it. So, of course, look that up. coarse. Do not accustom your mouth to coarse, foul language, for it involves sinful speech. So you get caught up in using the F word, the B word, because brothers, the scripture says a shameless woman is counted as a dog. It says that. I mean, there's nothing you can do. A shameless woman is counted as a dog. What's a female dog? You can only, bitch, right? So, but there gotta be some professionalism. Because you're going to just destroy your whole message. You know what I mean? Not saying we get a lot of people on the sister Aliyashabai came to school. She was like that. She was like, oh, what's up with the language? Like, what? I was like looking at old videos. I'm like, what did we say? But it was ass, it was nigga, it wasn't like we were saying, you sons of, I'm gonna kill you. You know what I mean? You weren't doing that. We weren't doing that. So, but that's how Christians think. You know, you can't use ass. You can't use nigga. Everything got to be proper. Yeah, well, like Paul said, though I be rude in speech, but yet not in knowledge. You know, there's words that you have to use to get across in some areas. You know what I mean? And then, and there's environments that you want to just leave that all out.
Right.
You know, when we talk to Israel, you want to get a point across. When you go to a college, you might just be teaching. You don't want to use none of that language, right? Yeah. What you got?
Real quick, go to that Colossians 3 and verse 5 and 6.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 5. Mortify therefore your members.
No, Colossians, 4 and 5 and 6.
Colossians chapter 4 and verse 5. Walk in wisdom towards them that are without, redeeming the time.
So we gotta understand, first of all, the people that we dealing with, it says walk in wisdom towards them that are without. So when you have a certain type of conversation, you gotta take into consideration to whom you having it with.
Right.
Read.
Verse 6. Let your speech be always with grace.
That's the first and foremost way we're supposed to approach every situation and every person, with grace, because we represent the Most High in Christ. Read.
Seasoned with salt.
Salt got flavor. So when we're dealing with the Jews, it says the Jews require a sign. So if we come with that timid Jehovah's Witness Baptist, you see the white boys on the 10 speed cut through the neighborhood. When they come over and they stop you and they talk to you, they ain't got no seasoning. They just here to put, you know what that meant? You know what they get? They get college.
Educated.
No, but they get. It's like when they go to get a job.
Oh, they get credits.
They get credits for that. There ain't no seasoning in credits. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta, to each person, you gotta come a different way.
So I might be like from around certain people, then I can talk a certain way to them, but maybe
You got it? Sure, got the scripture? Paul said it.
We all
Right.
I'm trying to,
Because you think about it, if you was talking to your grandma, you gotta. They're not gonna come like that. If we go over here where we schooled at, right across the street, where you know they hustling, you gotta come through there with force. So read verse 6 again.
Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man.
Because everybody's different, so you gotta know when you're dealing with. This was Colossians chapter 4, verse 5 and 6.
That's that what we just.
Yes, sir.
Right. Go ahead. Get that one. You got that one? Just to add right with what he's saying. Who got it? They know what I want. Come on, man. Y'all got it. Where are you aspiring officers at? You aspiring gunslingers in the word. Sword slingers. You got it? Somebody's sword, man, is Come on, man. You gonna let these sisters blow you out, man?
No, sir.
I know the sisters already got it. Huh? With a lot of whisper back there. You
Beat every man. Yeah. Basically, winner.
And then after we go, do we got any other questions on there?
Just a bunch of comments.
Just a bunch of comments. That's it. No questions. Okay.
1 Corinthians 9.
Go there. Go ahead and read that real quick. Where are we at? 1 Corinthians 9 and 19. Read that.
1 Corinthians chapter 9. No, that's not it.
That's not it?
I mean, it's something like that.
That's not it.
22 is where it actually says that.
Okay, go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
To the weak become I as weak.
Right. Well, just like it said in Colossians, right? Let your speech be also gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer everyone, right? I just read it out of the Anatolic Bible Apocrypha. Right. So I become all things to all men. Perfect, like the brother explained. When you go, what type of area are you going in? If you're talking to a lawyer, you wanna talk on that level. You want to be able to talk on that level. You're talking to Tyrone that's selling a dime bag of weed, right? You want to talk on that level,
Yes, sir.
right? You're talking to a sister that's hurt and in pain. You don't call her a demon. You gotta condescend, right? You gotta condescend to a lower state, right? It says rejoice with them that rejoice, mourn with them that mourn, right? So you got to be able to be on that different level. This is what Paul's telling us. Go ahead.
To the weak I became as weak,
Right.
that I might gain the weak.
Yeah, that's what it's about. Really? What are we here for? To gain brothers and sisters, right? To win over our people. Not just to tell them they ain't crap.
Right.
We're here to tell them that you ain't crap, now get it right. You know what I mean? We all ain't crap. Get it right. Let's get our spirit right. Go ahead.
I have made all things to all men.
Right.
That I might by all means save some.
Yeah. There you go. We're trying to save some of our people. Right? So that's the diversity that has to be in our tongue, in our demeanor, right? We're not perfect. We're definitely, but we have to learn that. But that's putting yourself aside, isn't it? You got to put yourself aside. Because a lot of people come in with, this is just the way I am. I ain't changing for no one. You're going to change. You have to change for your brother's sake, for your sister's sake. Right? All right. What do we got?
Are we expected to keep all the commandments or to the best of our ability? Not to find a rope to grab to be lazy, but I realize I don't have the funds or craftsmanship or unity to keep them.
The scriptures say strive for perfection. That's what the scriptures say. He said, it says be perfect like your Father is perfect. So that's what we're fighting for. We're fighting for perfection. We know, like it says in Galatians, we went over it yesterday, that we're not going to try to act like we're above everybody because we're trying to do better. But at the same time, we're supposed to be striving for perfection. So we have to strive to be better at the laws. We have to strive to be better spiritually, physically. So, to your best ability. You know what I mean? And then where you fall short, just like we went over in Galatians, that's where the grace would be, where you fall short. But what is the Most High looking at above all? What is he looking at? What?
The spirit you put behind it.
Yeah, he's looking at your effort, your spirit. Psalms 51, he says that broken spirit, that broken and contrite mind. He's looking at that. But if you got the part-time or you're making excuses for everything, he's looking at that spirit. Right? He that soweth sparingly shall what? Right. He that soweth bountifully shall reap bountifully. So when you go at this and you come and commit yourself, the Most High ain't looking for no part-time Israelites. He's not looking for a part-time. He said, if you're lukewarm, he'll what? And I know I done quoted seven scriptures here. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to start class. You know what I mean? But everything I just quoted is scripture. You know what I mean? Be perfect like your Father is perfect. Strive for perfection. Those are scriptures, man. We have to fight to be perfect in everything we're doing. It takes a mind state. It takes your mind in a strict regimen for you to be hungry like that. Because if you give yourself excuses, come on, you all know. Right? All you workout cats, you know what I mean? Anything you did in your life. You know what I mean? The black man, the black woman, the Israelite man, the Israelite woman is perfect at making excuses for everything. Stop making the excuses. Fight. Fight for it. You know what I mean? And then where you fall short, the Most High knows. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna give you an excuse, because the scriptures ain't giving us an excuse. You know what I mean? But at the same time, where you do fall short, the Most High knows. He knows how much spirit you put into it. Okay? So with that, we're gonna go ahead and go into this class tonight. See where we just went over all these questions? They somehow got to be written down and put in the descriptions. That way, when they read on YouTube what we went over, they can know, oh, they touched on this question, and this question. So we need that. We need you to write them down and then to put them in the description. Because there's a lot of these questions, a lot of people ask over and over again, and they can get them answered. But if you just put questions on there, a lot of time people they might skip over it. All right, so class tonight, we're going to be touching on what?
Tonight's class you can label parenting. Parent, being a parent. What it takes, what the scriptures talk about. So the first thing I want to know is, what is a parent? Because you can't be something you don't know. If anybody got an inkling of an idea on what a parent is supposed to be.
Parent is supposed to be an example, positive example for their children or other children.
Okay.
Like he said, an author is the one that guides and directs them in a good, positive, and correct way that's going to benefit them.
Okay. Anybody else? Because a lot of y'all got kids. So this should be, unless you don't understand what a parent is, this should be like a part of your DNA. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it. I mean, on the real, you should be able to, it should be in your spirit to be like, I'm a protector.
My answer wasn't good.
You know, I'm an alarm clock, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because these are characteristics of what's necessary. Because how are you going to teach something that you don't understand?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm going to give you what a parent is. It says a parent is a caretaker. So first and foremost, you care about the well-being of those that are around you that are unable to take care of themselves. So a lot of the mistakes that are being made in households is because they don't have the attributes of caretaker. It says, doing for children that are not capable. So how can you get mad at a child that is incapable? You get mad because you got to get up in the morning and change a diaper when you made this child, and this child is incapable of changing a diaper. These should be dilemmas in a household. So as we go through these scriptures, you got to see the characteristics of parenting, because it's important. As we go through these scriptures, the Most High is going to show you how to train up a child. The Most High is going to show you what happens when you do and when you don't put forth the energy of parenting. It says, teaching your child to function independently. That means when you're not around, your child should be able to function, not become these little beasts and ghouls and goblins and these monsters. They should already know. If my mom just showed me 1,000 times how to pee, by her being a caretaker and doing for the child that was incapable, by teaching them to be capable, when you're not in the room, that child should know not to pee on themselves. These are things that we're supposed to have naturally in us as being parents. It says we're trainers and coaches. The first people they're supposed to learn from is you. Before they step outside, the first thing they should learn, the first person that voices they should hear is yours.
That's the problem.
That's the thing is, what are you telling them? What are you teaching them? What are you giving them? As we go through these scriptures, you're going to see there's only one method that works. You can't push the iPad in front of the kid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't put them in front of the cartoons because it's your day off. Oh, it's Saturday. I work Monday through Friday, and Saturday is my day off. Your day off is your off day ain't never there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because you got kids. When you try to go to sleep, they wake up. When you just fed them, now you got to change. If you ain't watching them, they'll wander off. They'll stick their hands into things. They'll poke things. They'll touch things. Because it says they're incapable. They're incapable of understanding consequences. They're children. And it also says, when you're teaching a child, they begin to hold themselves accountable for their actions. Because now you're going from what is out in the world. Because is it not that we're supposed to have these are the attributes of an Israelite woman and a man, that we're supposed to be the ones with this light. Real quick, I want you to go to 2 Corinthians chapter what was it? Oh, chapter 5, verse 20. This just crossed me real quick, but read that.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 20. Say, Con, when you have it.
Time.
All right, so 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 20. Now then, we are ambassadors for Christ.
So we represent Christ. We don't represent ourselves. When we out in the world, we ain't representing your parenting skills. It shows that you got Christ in your life. Your order and your structure, you coming in the spirit of the Most High in Christ. How you move and maneuver your children. How you communicate with your children. How you communicate with your partner. It shows that you have Christ in your life. Why? Because we don't represent ourselves. That tired, lazy, deadbeat dad, low budget mom. That spirit is supposed to be done away with. We're supposed to be representing the spirit. Read it again.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 20. Now then, we are ambassadors for Christ, as though God did beseech you by us. We pray you in Christ's stead, be ye reconciled to God.
See, we're supposed to be getting closer and closer to the Most High. Our deeds should be showed forth because we represent the Most High. When we pick this book up, we put these fringes on, these dresses, these head wraps, these garments, and we in public, they watch us. What you represent?
Right.
You got ghouls running around. You see them in the Kmarts, in the malls, whatever. You see them. No discipline. And we're supposed to be the opposite. How we gonna have people come in here, come off the streets, and then they're looking at your children? Because you're an ambassador of Christ. You got the wisdom. You've been here 15 years. You should have structure in your child's life. They're the ones that you see every day. That's who you're supposed to be practicing on. So, first scripture we're gonna go to is, give me Genesis chapter 18. Matter of fact, give me Isaiah chapter 54, verse 13 first.
54:13.
Yes, sir. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 13.
And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord.
So all your children shall be taught about Blue's Clues.
All thy children shall be taught of the Lord.
Of Dora the Explorer.
Of the Lord.
Can't swipe swiper. They know all these little slick slang, these sayings, but they're not in tune with the Most High. So you got your kid running around in daydreams and demonic TV programs where they push this subtlety through. If you pay attention to the hand gestures and the body language in cartoons, they're defiling our children. And then you sit back and you go in the other room and you cry about your problems when you're supposed to be a caretaker. It's not your time to cry. You gave that up when you had a baby. When you did what you did and you had that child, now you got a baby. So your days of crying is over. Now it's about girding up your loins.
Right.
It's about being an example, being a caretaker, and being a parent. Read.
And great shall be the peace of thy children.
See, when you teach them, read that one more time.
The whole thing?
Yes, sir.
And Isaiah chapter 54, verse 13. And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord. and great shall be the peace of thy children.
See, when you put them in the Most High, they ain't got to worry about nothing. Why you think when they get a certain age, now they fearing boys and fearing this, and they in school scared of this, and because you ain't fortifying their mind to where they ain't got nothing to worry about. The Most High is the spirit of fear. So if you were putting the Most High in your house, you would know it because you could see it through your children. When they were asked the question, can't no stranger give them no candy. They already fortified in their spirit. You got to look at yourself, look at your parenting skills. If you can't explain what you are, then you got to see it.
That, man, you're going some goods in spirit, man. Well, I'm learning. No, hey, listen. The thing is that your baggage you bring to your kids. Remember that. Everything, like, you're that individual who don't like talking, guess what? You don't talk to your kids, they start pulling back, and they don't want to talk. You're that individual that's selfish, that's worried about money, that's worried about your job. Your kids grow up, and they start worrying about money. They start worrying about their job, right? You're that wanted woman that didn't give a dang about nothing else but your flesh, right? Your free lifestyle. Guess what? Your daughter is going to be that. Your son is going to be that. Why do you think majority of the kids now are sodomites, lesbians? Why? Because their parents didn't sit down. They had all those hang-ups, and they didn't sit down and raise their kids. So what we're understanding is Deuteronomy, real quick. Just add with this. Deuteronomy 32, you got that? We went over this the other day a little bit. 32 and 7.
But I will add it.
Deuteronomy 32 and 7.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 7.
Uh-huh. You got it? Go ahead.
Remember the days of old.
What?
Remember the days of old.
Go ahead.
Consider the years of many generations.
And that's what's supposed to be happening. We're supposed to be teaching our kids about our forefathers, about our ancestors. That's why every little time, I know I'm going to be in and out of the state a lot. Every little time, I'm talking to my kids. What happened at school? What are they talking about? You got to not just like, I'm on autopilot. I got to be shallow about everything. Yeah, they did that. Oh, really? I ain't listening to you anyway. You got to really ask them, what happened? Oh, yeah? Why do you think they said that? You know what I mean? My daughter was telling me that her teacher just started crying the other day for no reason. I'm like, wait, your teacher? I was like, no. She was like, fake crying. She was like, no. She was crying. And I'm thinking like, really? Like, this is happening in school? Like, but that influence, the weakness.
Right.
They were singing, what were they singing about? What was it about? America? What? The veterans. They were singing a veteran song. And then the kids is like, they come back to the house singing it. And I'm like, well, why are you singing that? You know what I mean? Oh, we were singing it at school. Do you know what it's about? See, you got to go through and break everything down. Because if not, they just start being accustomed to it. It's like you singing Rihanna. You know what I mean? It's like you singing Eminem, a rap song. You know what I mean?
Right.
You singing this, and then next thing you know, you come home and you what? You singing that to your husband. Your kids are singing that. You singing it. Everybody's in that mind state. But if we're teaching our kids the laws, we're putting away our selfishness, then we're gonna be able to raise them right. I'm gonna let you go. I'm just gonna go ahead, finish that.
Right. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 7.
Remember
the days of old.
Right.
Consider the years of many generations.
Right.
Ask thy father.
You supposed to be able to do what?
Ask thy father.
Everything that they come to school with. When they come to school with Thanksgiving, that Thanksgiving madness, I let them know. And then I let them know, listen, when you get older, you're going to have a decision to believe the lie or believe the truth. You know what I mean? This is what this is about. I'm going to give you the information. And then, and then as they start reading more, they'll start looking it up and reading it. You know what I mean? This is what this is about. She'll throw our videos on, or she'll throw the real story behind Thanksgiving. Give them the real info. You let them, like he said, you put it perfectly. You throw them on the iPad. You let them do all that all 13 hours a day. You know what I mean? Their iPad, that's all they're going to think like. They're going to be like, they're going to feel that way. Are you teaching your kids about your ancestors? Every night I have my kids, you got to sit down and read a chapter, read a book, read a chapter out of the scriptures. You know what I mean? You got to start good traits, good actions. If you haven't did it, just do it. I know, yes, it ain't a custom, but you got to break up their customs. You know what I mean? The customs, the bad example that you taught them, right? Because they can't go to nobody. There ain't no ancients out there. That's just you. The Hebrew Israelite prince or princess that is enlightened, right? But the selfish mom ain't going to do it. The selfish dad ain't going to do it. They're too worried about their own little one life to live, and their kids is being ate up by America. They're being ate the hell up.
As soon as you hit them, they put you. Listen, as soon as you have a child, first thing you do is take them, put them in daycare. So now they're picking up things that the older kids already know. Then it's pre-K, there's kindergarten, there's first grade, second grade.
Right. They're learning Thanksgiving, Halloween. They're being indoctrinated by what all these things. And then when you try to pull them back, they're looking at you, well, all they're doing is giving candy on. You're like, well, why are you doing that? That's why I tell my kids, I'm like, why do they do that? You know what I mean? I'm going to put the war in their head, because here's the fact. Like I tell my kids, you have to choose when you get older. You can listen to me now, but you're going to have to make a choice when you get older to follow righteousness, because you can't just beat them into order. Like, you going to get in the corner and be like, read this. Because then when they get older, they're going to be like, I don't want to do with nothing you're doing. You see that with brothers and sisters. I just had it heard the other day. I heard it the other day. I gave this amount of my life to the truth and did everything the way you wanted to. Why? Because you never did it from the heart. Because if you did it for the Most High, it ain't about me. It ain't about you. It's about what the Most High wants. But you get those resentful children. Those resentful children that don't follow it. So I'm not saying this class is not about stuffing it in their brain, but it's about going to war with it. You know, making them think. You know what I mean? Talking about it. Giving them the mind to have to go to battle. So when they do get older, the war is real and it's there. You know what I mean? Unless you're just going to leave them to abandon ship. Right? So this is what the scripture's saying. You are the elders. You're the ones now. Go ahead.
Ask thy father, and he will shew thee.
Go ahead.
Thy elders, and they will tell thee.
They're supposed to tell you. You're supposed to tell your kids. Oprah's not going to tell them. Your great-grandmother ain't going to tell them. This ain't about their wisdom. This is about the wisdom of the Most High. Go ahead.
That's it.
Right. So y'all get that?
Go to Genesis. Go to Genesis chapter 18, verse 19.
Genesis chapter 18 and verse 19.
Read.
For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Most High, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may on Abraham that which he had spoken of him.
Read it again.
Genesis chapter 18, verse 19. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him.
See, we're supposed to command our children after the forefathers, like he brought up, the traditions of the old. We shouldn't be letting them engraft Christmas in our households when we're the parent.
Right.
We're the caretakers. We're supposed to be the ones to block that. See, if you, like there's a scripture says, what thou hast commit unto faithful men, that shall be able to teach others also. That means that when I give you these scriptures, you're supposed to be able to go home and give them to your children. And then when they get old, they're supposed to be able to hand that down to their children. But what are you feeding them with? When you get them home, are they a burden? Let's go in there, I gotta cook.
Yeah, you know what? Can I just say this right on that point? I was just talking to them in the car just a few hours ago in there about discipline and about, you know, when they go to school, they see all these badass kids in there, and it's just now it's kind of latching on. Yeah, I want to be wilder. But I asked them, I said, do you want to be You see, there was a kid bullying Shariah. Like, this animal was just throwing things at her and just really, just an animal to where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to put her in karate school to beat this kid's butt. You know what I mean? Because my oldest too young now to be an assassin. He's an assassin in training. But I was like, listen, do you guys want to be this? You want to be like those little evil, wicked kids? Because Ezekiel says, go slay utterly old and young. When Christ come back, he's killing children. Don't you know that? The scriptures say that they were going to bring forth monsters. You understand? And those monsters, the Most High is going to wipe off the face of the earth. So, what the Most High is not worried about, oh, you cute. You cute. He's looking at that spirit in you. If it's distorted and evil, the Most High is going to kill those kids, man. Start over. And you think a lot of these gremlins, 11-year-old murdering. You heard about the, was it 8-year-old that murdered the 1-year-old? Where do you think that kid's going? Well, he's a kid. He doesn't know. It's a spirit in that kid, man.
Right.
It's a goonie. It's a gremlin in that kid. You understand that?
Right.
Those spirits, the Most High you have to destroy. Like Paul said, I gotta deliver you to the Most High that He can destroy the body. That way, the soul can be saved.
Right.
You understand that? So, I was telling them, you want to be like these little kids? This is how you're going to be. You want to be evil? I said, because when you're like that, your kids are going to be like that. I'm talking to them like they 30 already. Why? Because, listen, the school, they already having sex at 9, 10. You understand? The sexing scandal that happened in, it was, I forgot what city. When we was in Arizona, we were watching it on the news. This sexting scandal where these kids are 8th graders, 7th graders were sexting.
Texas.
Yes, sending naked pictures. Kids. What?
There's a 9-year-old dad.
A what?
A 9-year-old dad.
What balls are jerking?
Hey, it works. He shot it. It works. Right? 9-year-old. Think about that.
It's all them steroids in the food, man.
Yeah, all that chicken.
Hey, go to Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 9. All that chicken. Yeah. Read that. Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 9.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 9. Only take heed to thyself, and keep thy soul diligently.
Keep thy soul diligently in what? Read.
Lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen.
Everything that we teach in here, if you ain't diligent in it, none of these parenting scriptures going to help you. Because as soon as you leave, you're going to go back to the same old deadbeat dad. Go back to the busted down mom. The evader. You ain't a mom, you an evader. You just want to throw them off in the room so you could do you because you had a hard day's work. But you chose to have these kids. Read.
And lest they depart from thine heart all the days of thy life.
Read.
But teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons.
See, we're supposed to be able to teach. If you, like he said in the world, teach one, reach one, teach one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's supposed to go on in our house. So that this is your lineage. This is your lineage. Just like your uncle Tuki showed you how to rock it up. He showed you how to rock it up. Then what happened? When I learned how to rock it up, I showed my nephew how to rock it up. You know what I'm saying? How to whip it.
Right.
You know, I can whip it. My whip game properly.
Right.
Come on, man. But you can't sit down and show the Most High, show your children the oracles of the Most High. You can't show them the scriptures, what's going to keep their spirit alive. I fell for the Okio, son. Don't fall for that. Look, let me take you to Ecclesiastes to show you how a man's supposed to carry himself.
And that's their only way. That's the way. That is the way to them. I got to make money out here some way. I got to survive.
Right.
Like, there's millions of people on the earth not selling crack,
Right.
not stripping. Like, the only way is you surviving with being a stripper? Come on, man.
Right.
That's the wisdom of the world.
Right.
Yeah.
There was another one, just in the world itself, there was a gentleman that actually was selling his wife on the street. He made over like $500,000, but I don't know exactly what his wife was doing, but still he went to the measure of, selling his wife. So that's just
You got those people in Europe that sell their virginity.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they call them mail order brides. It was somebody that bought
Yeah.
in the Navy, they did something like that, right?
You weren't involved with that though, right? Nah, I'm just joking.
I was eating chicken. Hey, go to Deuteronomy chapter 11 and verse 18. And I'm trying to get them to you as quick as possible, man, because there's a lot of them.
Deuteronomy chapter 11 and verse 18. Therefore shall ye lay up these words. Slock it. Therefore shall ye lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes.
The word of the Most High should constantly be in your thoughts, in your mind, in your speech. When you cook, when you clean, when you edify, when you break down, and when you build, your thought process should be always towards the Most High. Read.
Verse 19. And ye shall teach them your children.
No, you just use it for yourself and neglect them.
And ye shall teach them your children.
Read.
Speaking of them when thou sittest in thine house.
See, instead of y'all always talking about all this garbage, y'all in the car cutting the radio, and you and your daughter and you and your son singing this garbage off the radio.
Right.
Instead of y'all both know the words. You're never gonna take me, never. It's sad, because look at her. Oh, the boy around the corner gonna take her.
Right.
Believe that. The crack dealer nigga, he gonna get her. He gonna get him. He gonna have a pack. Because you ain't fortifying his mind. You ain't got it in his heart to where when he do see something bad, he know how to reject it.
Right.
You got him in la-la land. Read.
And when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up.
Do y'all even pray with y'all kids? Do y'all get up just knowing that demons is in the house, wake everybody up and just set up prayers? Or is it robotic? When you get put on blast, yeah, let's go pray real quick. Because I said we got to pray. You got to see, man, this is for your house. This is for your people. This is for your family. First and foremost, before you can even help anybody outside of your house, are you even helping your house? Are you feeding your children? Or are they just sitting there thirsty? And then you wonder why when you bring them out in public, they're being looked at a certain way. When we're ambassadors of Most High, we're supposed to have the oracles. We're supposed to have the enlightenment. Read.
Verse 20. And thou shalt write them upon the doorposts of thine house.
No, y'all got Superman posters and Batman posters.
Right.
You got kids that quote all this garbage, but then sit them down and ask them, what did Moses do? Because you know what Batman did, you know what Superman did, you know he from Krypton, you know what gets him weak. But what did Moses do? Listen, why was ask your child this? Because these are great bedtime stories. You should be in there telling them about Jonah.
There you go.
You should be in there showing them. Look, this is why Jonah didn't go to the promised land.
But I'm not going to sacrifice for me on studying. Why would I sacrifice for this little nigga? Get out there, little nigga, move that out the way. Right? Yeah. That's how I be. You know what I mean? I haven't sacrificed for me. I don't sit down and study for my spirit. I'm on the clock. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Israelite time, I'm off and I'm going to sleep. No, you still got kids unless you single. That's why we give the warning to all you single brothers. Like, brother, be wise. You know what I mean? Don't jump into it. Learn all these things. That way, when you do have kids, first of all, you can know the woman that was the right woman that you laid your seed in, and she ain't just gonna bend off on you. And then two, you'll be a little more mature to handle those kids. Right. You know what I mean? Because the biggest mistakes we've made, right, is kids having kids. You know what I mean? You like 20-something, you still in the party mode and giving your kid to grandma. Right. Grandma's like, throw him in front of the TV. Right? Now you know he's a little fruity. Now what? That's just the way life is. He was raised, I mean, he was born that way. BS. He was taught that thing. Why? Because when he was sitting down, he was learning all that, how to be feminine. Right? Listen, This is what all black, Hispanic, Israelite kids are given to. You giving them right over to the devil and right over to America. So they can cut their penis down the middle and turn it inside out, and now they act like girls. Come on, man. We got to fight. But how the hell are you going to fight when you're selfish and greedy? You're only worried about you and money. You have to fight. You have to prioritize. Well, how do I do that, brother? Prioritize your time. You don't need a lot of time. You're double teaming. You got you and your wife double team. You do this. You make sure. That's why I tell my ribs. I always remind them. Listen, you talking to them. You making sure y'all not just talking about anything, but talking about some wisdom. If you got to get robotic with it, like okay, I got to make sure today. Then be a robot with it until it's a custom. It's a habit, right? And then you're now talking about it with them. That's what should be frontlets between that eyes. And it's going to be frontlets between their eyes. They're going to wake up focused on the Most High, right?
Unless you don't believe that the Most High is your power.
Right.
You'll check your power. That's why you get there on time, but you won't get your kids where they need to be. You'll hurry up. You'll do it. You'll risk a speed ticket to go serve the nations, but you won't take time and be like this. Wait, where we at, son? I just wanted to get this last verse out to you. You ain't like that. You ain't diligent in that, but you're diligent in making sure you go punch that clock. Right. Give me Proverbs.
That's how Esau did us, man.
Right? Yeah, it's all programmed.
It's to everything. It's to everything. It's to. And listen, that's why you got fast food. I don't give a damn about my kid's health. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give him everything garbage, so I can shut down his immune system, his body, like at 20 something. By the time he gets 28, he's just dead. His body, his health is dead. That's everything. His health, his mind, his soul. I'm gonna give him right over to America, to Babylon the Great. You got to fight, man. We have to fight as Israelites. Everybody want to know how we do this. Every black man, black community, conscious community is talking about we need to get together and be for our people. Well, where does it start? Well, it starts with the wisdom and knowledge you're giving them. Right. Then it starts with the action. There's no action because you don't have no true wisdom and knowledge. Right. All these conscious communities, right, but you don't got no knowledge, no real knowledge to feed them. Right. Because why? You just smart as hell. I got knowledge. Right. Like Balabai just told me with he told me something funny, but they just had knowledge of random foolishness.
Oh, the thing that they went to in San Antonio?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it was talking about it was like the black community, the conscience of everybody in San Antonio came together.
Yeah, but it's just about knowledge. It's really not how we're gonna get things in order. That's why I wish that Sister Angela would come around more. Because when she first came in here, she was like, huh? Ashley. I wish she would come around. Angela too. Ashley come around more because she came in, she was like, we gotta get the kids back in the homeschool. Right. That's why Sundays is important for the kids. Why we set up Sundays for the kids? Right, because that way during the week we know that you're an Israelite, you're busy, you're hustling and bustling. Then you got the devil, you got the bills, the light bills and all that need to be taken care of. Not saying that's an excuse, because in the middle of all that, we still got to fit in time. But what we're doing as a body is saying, okay, even much more, Sundays we come together for the kids and you put time into them. The mother's spending time with them. Y'all talking about these stories. And we got to move past just, I'm going over a lesson and that's it. You got to sit down. It got to be time where you sit down and you actually talking to them. What y'all learned in school? What y'all do today? Oh, yeah, why they do that? Well, did you know this? Right. That's how it got to be. Right. You know what I mean? That's what's going to get these kids' mind back into you. You know what I mean? Because how many of you don't talk to your husband? I don't want to because I've been taught to be into me. I'm going to save it all right here and then explode in 10 years and don't want to do anything no more. Your kid's going to do that. You know what I mean? They're gonna. And next you know, they was having sodomite thoughts, having sodomite tendencies, and you never knew. Why? Because you didn't sit down and talk with them. Like, you know what I mean? What's on your mind? What?
Well, just by being in the school system right now, I see like a lot of people you just get taught to. Everybody just soaks in instead of actually putting some type of action in it. Like in between the teacher, they don't ask any questions. So basically, everything that you telling me is just coming into my system, and I take it as being true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like you said, you gotta teach them from the word, have a day specifically for your kids to get them right.
It gotta be.
Our influence should be heavier than the world itself.
I was talking about this today with my family, brothers and sisters that I met at the funeral. But I was just showing them, listen, you got all these other wisdom and knowledge and books and things out there, right? That ain't gonna do nothing. It's like, so what? You got the knowledge of the quasars. You got the knowledge of the zodiac. So what? How the hell is that gonna teach your kids not to be a faggot, not to be a lesbian, a transvestite, a switch hitter, a drug head, a crackhead? How is that going to do that, knowing about the zodiac? So what? You know what I mean? That's just knowledge. That ain't helping you. And that's what everybody want to sound wise, but they're not really understanding the simplicity in Christ is to change our mind over from the carnal to the spiritual. Adam and Eve already did that. They already tried to reach to the stars. And what? The Most High said, if you just had listened to the basics, that's life. The laws, the commandments, that's life.
Hey, this should be your model right here.
You said Proverbs what?
Proverbs 22:6. In your house, those that have children, this should be, you know how you get those little stickies? You got stickies at work to remind you? Read this.
This is Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it.
So if you actually spent that time with your child, he wouldn't be an embarrassment when you were out in public.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be trying to control him and yell at him and pinch him and scratch him. You know what I'm saying? You got children so bad. I see it out there, man. The children so bad that the parents leave them in the car when they're in the store because they just don't want to deal with it.
On purpose, just for their
On
head to
purpose. You got to think of that, man. But then you got to look at this. Now, you teaching your kids not to be in the world, but on the way home from school, they watching the other kids play with their parents in the park as you take them to the dungeon. Because that's all your world becomes is a dungeon. Because you ain't got no lighting. You ain't taking the time. Last time you pulled them out, took them to the park. It was like, let's go play. Let's go chill. Ain't no house. They only get outside when you take them out. That's the whole point. It says doing for the children that are not capable. They're not capable of deciding, hey, I don't want to sit in here today. You want to sit in there and soak on the things you're going through, what you don't have. The Most High is putting you through. Right. And your kids are in the room like, damn, like, it's a nice day outside.
Let me add to that. That's why, once again, the Sundays, but you got to do the field trips again. You understand? Y'all did them before. We did them with homeschool, but we got to do it again. The field trips. Then you got to take them to places that is going to tell them the lie. Then you sit there and tell them the truth. You know what I mean? You got to sit there and be like, they're telling you about some Indian that, you know, this, that, or some great white man that killed that Indian. You got to tell them this is the real story behind it. Right. You know what I mean? That's how y'all have to set things up like that. Create the spiritual conflict. Show them that there's lies out there. That way they can learn how to like and search for the truth. Right. You know what I mean? And that's what we need more of. Right. All right? We got to think about the kids, man. You had your time of lust and playing. You want to keep them out of the clubs. You want to keep them off the dope and the blunts. Right. And the ecstasy and the coke. You want to keep them off that pole. You understand that? Right. How are you going to do that? Prioritizing your time. Stop. You know why I keep saying that word? Because of Israel. I don't got time. I'm over here at class at this time. I'm over here at work at this time. Stop. You got time, but you don't want to sacrifice. You don't want to sacrifice that time. Why? Because that's your time. No, it's not. It's your child's time. And you got to put into him now. You got to put into her now. All right? Right?
Go to Ephesians chapter 6. You can start at verse 1. This is actually talking about two types of parents.
Oh, yeah, you just could you read that last scripture one more time? I'm sorry.
No, you good.
This is Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 6.
Yeah, read that one more time.
Right. Train up a child in the way he should go.
Right. So remember what the law is saying. Train him. Now, when you look at that word train, are you talking about, oh, like you said, one time we're going to pray today because class convict me?
Nah, I'm doing it constantly.
Go look at how they train those pit bulls, man.
Right.
When you think of training, right, you think I'm training the dog. Okay, throwing the bone, come out, and these dogs be like, oh no, sit, and the dogs come and sit. You got to train the child.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Consistency.
Consistency. It takes time. That's going to show them love.
Right.
That's going to show them that they're there for, not, listen, I'm going to say it again. All this, children still got to make the choice.
Right.
But at least you put them in that mold, in that mind, in that right spirit.
Yeah.
Right? Because America, you know how America is, man.
Right.
Look at all these fake Christians. You know what I mean? It's like, I grew up a Christian all my life. As soon as I got out, I was free. I was in the club banging everything in sight, right? How many of you were like that? Right? You know what I mean? You grew up Christians, you grew up in the Catholic Church, and you was like, now, I'm free. Mom ain't around, dad ain't around, I'm buck wild.
Exactly.
Now, we know that. We're psychologically on that level. How are we going to keep them away from that? You got to be spiritually, man, on point and a warrior to understand how to keep your kids away from that.
Right.
It's going to be hard, man. What?
And that's another thing, because a lot of people that I'm around are young parents, but at the same time, they try to teach them one thing, but they're doing the same thing that you teach them not to do.
Right, there you go.
And the thing about kids, like, if you even see like little 1-year-olds, 2-year-olds, you'll say a word, they're going to repeat it right after. What does that mean?
There you go.
They're very malleable, so they see everything you do, they're going to repeat it.
Like I said to the brothers yesterday, if you're yelling and cursing, and they're going to look at you and they're going to say the same thing. Oh, I don't know where he got that. He got that from you. You know what I mean? That's why now it's to the point to where my kids, man, if they hear me say something that is even near a bad word, it's like, you're not supposed to be saying it. Right? I put on my shirt today, he's like, ugh, your belly button. Like, because he knows I don't look at nobody butt naked. You know, they walked in the gym today. It was my fault. I kind of slept it. You know what I mean? Walked in the gym today. I let him go to the bathroom, and guess what? You got a saggy booty. She was like, it was wrinkled, and I just closed my eyes. Like, why? Because that's America, though. They're going to see that everywhere, but they know what? I'm not supposed to look at that. They got to have some fear. How do you instill this in them? Yeah, or else they're going to be what? They're going to be like, it's funny. Then they're going to be getting naked at the house with their friends and thinking it's cool.
Because it's funny.
Yeah, because it's funny. But you show them how to have discretion, fear, order, and show them that there's sick-ass people out there that will what? Molest them. You know what I'm saying? You got to show them that. They're trying to show you their body, but next you know they touching you. That's why I tell my kids, listen, anybody touch you, don't fear, because they're wrong. You know what I mean? You know how a lot of kids don't want to say nothing because they feel that they're wrong. No, I show them that the people are like that, they're child molesters, and they turn into homosexuals. Now that was my path of destroying both. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You gotta show them that. This is what the world got ahead for them. You know what I mean? This is what's coming to them. You know? Finish it.
That was it. That's it.
No. Read it one more time.
Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6.
Train
up a child in the way he should go.
Right.
And when he is old, he will not depart from it.
There you go. So training is consistency. You have to have a method. You have to have a system. You have to have a system in everything, man. What?
You gotta have a true deep love too for them, because if you do, then all of that will come natural, and you'll be consistent, and they'll see it and they'll appreciate it too.
You know how that you have some people that say, oh, you know what? She loves kids. She's good with kids. If you're a damn mom, if you're a father, everybody should be good with kids.
Best dad award. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, best dad award. Everybody should be the best dad.
Right.
You know what I mean? We should be learning these things. But what did America teach us? Go work for me. Don't worry about your kids. I got them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show them about how Billy can have two daddies.
Right. It's cool.
You know what I mean? How mommy can have two moms.
Right.
Right? And I'm not talking about the wives. I'm talking about lesbians.
Right.
Right?
Why
How you don't need a dad.
Right.
You can go divorce your parents. Right? What else are they teaching them?
Oh, come sit on this white man's lap.
Right.
Around December, come sit on this nasty white man's lap and let him whisper stuff in your ear real quick while you rub on your kid and ask what he want for Christmas.
Right.
Now, when he out there, the next nasty white man come over there to him, they're already open to it. It's like trick or treat. Why do you think they get a candy out? Especially, when you get candy from the white people, it's the good candy.
Right.
So as soon as he walk up on you, like, hey, how you doing? You want some candy? You already know. Oh yeah, he got the good candy.
Yeah.
You know you're in his trunk.
I'm gonna check this out. What you gonna say?
Straight up.
You can be a boy or girl, whatever you feel like that.
Oh yeah, you can be a boy or girl. Wow.
The kid in Shariah's class was like, I feel like a boy today.
Right.
Whoa.
Well, they're allowing them to express themselves in whatever way.
Right. Demons.
Hell.
So I want to be a killer today. Let me stab everybody.
Right.
That's stupid.
It's not just crazy because they're putting that on the kids. Like kids don't even think that way, and to make you think that way, they're like
Put it on them. Right. That's why I'm ready to get. Homeschool, man. I really want to get it back going in the camp because we need it, man. Our kids are going to be, I know they got to go through it, but it takes more talking, more breaking that down. I'll put it like this. I'm not going to say a name, but there was a sister, that when she first came in, she didn't really understand. And, she was touching on Shariah's hair, and she was like, Mom, she keeps touching me. I was like, she keeps, she's like, that's weird. Like, okay, well, the sister doesn't know, but she knows. Nobody's supposed to be touching on you.
Right.
Nobody's supposed to be kissing on you. You know what I mean? Nobody, hey.
Right.
Your skin is beautiful. You beautiful, brother. Like,
You gotta think that's a demon.
that's a spirit.
For an adult to touch a child in that way, that just shows that you know why they lock you up, and then when you get out, they make you register so they can keep track of your sick self.
No, but you know what? Listen, the thing is this. That's how we were raised.
Right.
There was somebody that raped. How many women in here was molested? You know what I mean? How many women was molested? How many brothers was molested? I'm not. You know what I mean? How many brothers was
It
molested?
could have been about.
Hey, listen. It could have been by a woman. Yeah, no. You know what I mean?
Because you grow up in the projects, man. I seen sex. I ain't gonna lie to you. I lost my virginity at like 7.
Wow.
Because I saw my mom have sex.
Wow.
And I didn't know what it was. So I crept off and I got my neighbor's girl. And we got under my bed and I just emulated what I saw. But what it did is it took something I couldn't get back. It took that purity. It took where now I was in tune with things I didn't understand. I opened the door before it was too early. It was too early for me to open that door.
Right.
And that's the thing is you gotta really examine yourself, man, to see the spirits that surround you, because then that becomes the spirit of sex. Because it's like a drug. Once you get it, and if you have no control over it, now that's all you chase. Next thing you know, you 500 women down the line, 12 kids, no love.
That's why a lot of you are attacked by that demon.
Yeah.
You're attacked by those spirits, succubus. You know what I mean? Why? Because you entertaining that so much. And some of you don't know. But these are the things you got to watch out for your kids, man. You know what I mean? Like he said, go right back to Santa Claus. You sitting on a grown-ass man's lap and he's telling you, what you need for Christmas? That's crazy. You know what I mean? They do this, they can be hiring the most bum up in the mall. They hire the most ratchet, drunk.
Bad Santa.
Yeah, bad Santa. Like they hire these guys, putting them in the mall, and then you sitting your kids on their lap, tell Santa what you want. Man, that's filthy, man. What?
There's this the kids, they take words and then their mind is already filthy. Like they were drawing a peacock,
Right.
And they asked Shariah was a peacock, and she said it's a peacock, it's a bird. He's like, no, cock. What is cock? And she's like, what is cock?
Trying to be funny.
And you know,
This is what kids. This is why I want. See, you keep telling me this. I'm getting angry. This is why I want them out to school, because it's just the little things. Because I even talk to them and I'm like, what do y'all talk about? What are your friends talking about? What do you guys, and they don't really know that these little demons are from their little demonic parents.
Right.
They're putting that stuff right in their head. That's crazy, man. Go ahead.
Hey, give me Ephesians chapter 6. You can start at verse 1.
Two, right? Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 9.
1.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 1. Children of
Hold on. I want to answer this one. What do I do to show my ex-husband that me teaching my kids through the scripture has nothing to do with being an Israelite? He gives me a hard time saying for me to keep my beliefs away from our daughter and son. He also told me that I need to get them into a church instead. The thing is that to keep that peace and the chaos away out of that, you got to show them the wisdom behind everything. You know what I mean? You got to show them, like, you can go at Christmas and you can be like, well, Christmas is not in the Bible. Or Christmas is, Christmas is a wicked holiday. You can go at it like that, right? Or you could say, show me Christmas in the Bible. There's two different ways you're going at it. You got to break down the kids' logic and show them how that if you're serving Christmas, where does Christmas come from? Christ's Mass, right? This is supposed to be about Christ, right? Oh, yeah? Where's Christmas in the Bible? So now you're breaking it down as opposed to formally going to war with that, right? Because they're going back and saying, oh, Christmas is not real, right? But if you teaching them that Christmas is not even in the Bible, now they're going to look at it different. They're going to say, oh, this has nothing to do with Christ. And you just feed them the info. You're kind of keeping it away. I mean, that situation, it can get stupid when you got the ex, their mind ain't in Christ. You know what I mean? So you got to use wisdom and tact how you're going about to still teach them the right thing, but you got to use tact how you go about it, instead of just saying, yeah, we're not doing that. You know what I mean? Go about it in a different way. And that hopefully keep him off you. But here's the fact. The fact is this. The separation is going to be made. You're going to be teaching your kids, regardless of what you do and how you do it, they're going to go back and tell this simple nigga the things. And he's simple as hell and a slave for America. So he's going to go ahead and come back and be the battle against it. It's going to be a war against good and evil. The only thing you can do is watch the next guy you sleep with and you have babies with, and you know that if his mind is not in the scripture, this would trip me out with a lot of brothers and sisters. You made the one mistake, and you go back and go make up another mistake. I'm going to go get with another man that don't have no wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. They don't got no knowledge about Christ. And eventually, he's going to go down his path and I'm teaching my kids this. And he's going to be like, well, I'm the daddy. I want them to learn this. That's the only thing we can do is stop that path of keep making the same mistakes, right? We can't do nothing about what we messed up about. You know what I mean? All you can do is that next decision I make, I'm not going to sleep with the man and have him do the same thing this guy's doing. Because all your kids are going to be fruitless, purposeless. And the scripture tell you about having kids or having children that are unprofitable, which you're probably going to get what?
Just from when I was homeschooling, I know with the kids, they like to know where things come from. So like with the holidays, I go back to like, where does the Christmas start and how they threw babies on trees and the Valentine's. I show them that God that wanted gifts. So when they sing that, and then I read the Bible with it, they're like, oh, so it makes sense. The light.
You put the war.
No,
You
they're
put
like,
the
oh.
war in their head. And that's what we got to do with these holidays. When these holidays come around, you can't just hide them and be like, listen, you weren't supposed to do that. You got to show them, listen, this is where really it comes from. You know what I mean? Let them see it. Like with the cigarettes and the weed and all that, we show them the videos. Like, look what cigarettes do to you. This what it show them. With the sex, this what herpes, this what AIDS, this what it does to you. Go ahead and go around it. This is the consequences of you being disobedient to the Most High. Don't hide it from it. Because you keep hiding them, eventually they want to do what? Concupiscence. The desire. What is it? What you gonna say?
I said that to Naomi. I showed her like these videos of like smoking and the effect like on the lungs. It was like there's different type of foods, and it scared her, man. You know, it scared her. You know, but I have to do it. I have to show her like, look, this is what happens when you eat like this or when you smoke. You know, different things.
Like I said.
I'm sorry.
No, but like you said, like we went over in Proverbs 22:6, if you train up in the child the way you would have them go, they won't depart from that. If you educate them instead of trying to, but you yourself got to be educated, right? What are you turning on in the morning on the way to work? What are you listening to? What's your intake? First thing in the morning, what are you putting in your mind? Like Zach told me, he said, man, make sure you hit me up early in the morning. That way I can know what you're thinking about. What's on your mind? So that's why this next scripture is so important. This is Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 1.
Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right.
Now, there's two types of parents. You got a spiritual parent, and you got the parents in the household. So that means those that are in here are supposed to be listening to the teachers. Those that are giving you the scriptures. You can't go home and do your own thing. You become a disobedient child. And then you wonder why the method you try to put outside of the method your spiritual fathers are trying to teach you don't work. Read.
Verse 2. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise.
And that's what you're supposed to be instilling in the children, is teaching them how to honor, how to respect. Listen, a partner, it says one who partakes.
A parent.
No, this is a partner.
Okay.
It says one who partakes or shares, husband or wife. It's a partnership.
Right.
There shouldn't be no battle. Well, I'll go ask Dad. Oh, well, Mom said I could. Like, the voice that echoed through the house should be of one mind.
Right. One judgment.
And one judgment.
Ooh, could I get Deuteronomy? Oh, flip. Go to Deuteronomy real quick, because let's bring you back. Why is our kids little nigglets running around the mall showing their poom poom at 12? Why is there little goonies with their pants down to their ankles, right? With little gremlins, ghouls, and goblins. Deuteronomy 22, verse 60. Uh, 54.
28.
Deuteronomy 28:54.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 54.
Right.
So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate.
Right. That don't mean he's a faggot. That means he was humble. He was meek. Right. He wasn't a brute animal. Go ahead.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Right. Read on.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
That's the curse. That's the curse. Right. In the household, the man is looking at the woman that one way. Right? She ain't nothing. She ain't crap. She's doo-doo. I'm gonna put my feet in her head. Right? I gotta hit it and quit it. And it starts with us being young, right? You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I'm gonna train on this hoe. Yeah, we all gonna hit that. You know what I mean?
We can't get
Oh, stop.
Yeah. What is it called?
Chinese finger cup?
Yeah, Chinese finger cup, right? We all gonna hit that at young. At a young, everybody's like, what's Chinese? It's running trains. Choo-choo, right? That's how they believe. All right, listen. All of us know and we come from that. You know what I mean? Look at our people, man.
grew up in the PJs, man.
Yeah.
It used to be, listen, no lie, I ain't even gonna lie to you. It used to be 7 men on one girl. I would go upstairs, have sex with her, come down, my homie go upstairs, have sex. It would go on all day while our mama was gone. And it been like that. That's how we were raised. Hide and go get it. Remember hide and go get it? Oh, listen, go tell me where you gonna hide. I'm coming. That's what we did. Like, straight up, that's what we did. Listen, the value of a woman in the projects is unbelievable.
The black man, the Hispanic man, the Israelite woman, this is why you gotta watch your kids.
Right.
Once again, I'm gonna keep repeating it. If you're a selfish mother, selfish father, you don't give a damn. You don't care. That's why a lot of brothers and sisters, y'all come in here, you're supposed to be working on yourself, but you don't know your own little selfishness not working on yourself. Your niggerism is gonna go to those little nigglets. You understand? Read. Go ahead.
Yes.
Read on.
His eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall lead.
That's the curse. That's the curse. Tell me the white man's a Jew.
Right.
They sit there with their 2 wives in order, kids in order. Their kids ain't running around with pants sagging, 50 tattoos on their eyeball.
They had the restaurant holding it down.
Yeah, they at the restaurant holding it down. Rich.
Right.
We the only cats in the ghettos and the slums. We would not give. Think of where's a rapper giving praises to their father? 1 out of what? 1,000. Everyone is like Pac said, right? That nigga ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. You were never there, right? All the wisdom that Pac had. He taught you how to hate your daddy. Go ahead.
55. So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat.
55. Jump to verse 56.
Come on. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 56. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not have ventured to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness.
Right.
Her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom.
And the reason I went here is right what he was saying. It goes back to the house. In our house, there's supposed to be an order, a unit, a body. Right? One mind, one spirit, one judgment. The head of every woman is the man. The head of Christ is God, and the head of man is Christ, right? God, Christ, man, woman, children. That's what's supposed to be being set up, right? Not the curse. Not the curse. Of course, the whole earth is out of course, right? A woman shall surpass a man, right?
God knows my heart.
Right, God knows. No, you got to follow these commandments, or you're going to fall under the what? The curse, read.
And toward her son.
Toward her what?
Her son.
Right.
And toward her daughter.
Right.
And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet.
Now you see a lot more. Remember when putting, killing your kids and drowning them was a white man thing?
Yeah.
No, it's a black man thing now. They throwing them over bridges.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Hey, you taking the Planned Parenthood so you can save your career?
Right.
So you can go to nursing school? Now y'all in the malls hiding. Y'all done had like 34 abortions. Now y'all running around in the mall acting like you ain't never had one. What you do, sis? Oh, I'm going to nursing school.
Right.
Be like, you 40, you ain't got no kids? Why? Because all those niggas been buried in your lungs.
You are serial murder.
Like, how you with a vacuum hose?
You know, we talk to people.
Suck that spirit out of you with a vacuum hose.
Or with a hanger.
Yeah, with a hanger.
Or with a hanger.
Snatch out a child of the Most High with a hanger.
Wow.
You think you sold your soul for naught. You gave yourself up for some trinkets. So you can have a career. So you can go work right back into the world. That's crazy, man. We go to this one real quick. Go to Ecclesiastes. Chapter 42, starting at verse 9. You got to see, man. Especially men that have daughters.
Oh,
this is powerful right here. When I was putting this one in, it showed me, man. Y'all letting y'all kids just walk around here and you think they expected to do what's right. You better watch, like I told y'all last time, you better watch Pinocchio. You better see the spirit they threw out there, where Pinocchio was guarded, but as soon as he went outside, he was like, Pinocchio, come here. Let me show you some old innocent boy. Then he had to go home and lie to his parents. But the difference is your kids' nose ain't gonna grow. They just gonna keep lying to you until they end up pregnant. At 13, pregnant at the house. Now you mad, you gonna blame her. You gonna blame him for making a child at 15 when you didn't take the time to educate him. Read.
Ecclesiastes chapter 42 and verse 9. The father walketh for the daughter, when no man knoweth.
Waketh.
The father waketh for the daughter, when no man knoweth. And the care for her taketh away sleep.
Why?
Worry.
There you go.
You should be.
Worry.
You should be worried. No, go ahead.
And read. I want you to,
Where are you at again?
this is Ecclesiastes chapter 42 verse 9.
In the Apocrypha, right?
Yes, sir.
Ecclesiastes chapter 42 and verse 9. The father waketh for the daughter, when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep.
Read.
When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age.
Why? Why? You know what I'm saying? If you ain't educated them, you better be worried. Why? You can't even sleep. You wondering if some nigga at your daughter's window.
Listen, how many of y'all, listen, I know one of my first ribs, man, she used to sneak out. She used to sneak out back. How many of your daughters sneaking out back? Yeah. Come on now. And mommy, daddy don't even know what. She going with this guy in the trunk.
Yeah.
Right. Right. They're in the trunk together, not even the back seat. Right?
They would even try to be.
Hey, listen. You know why it's funny? Because it's real. You know why? And if we don't apply these scriptures and see, once again, your selfish antics, your kids are going to be a product of America, a product of rap music, a product of especially these R&B singers.
Right.
You understand? They're going to be a product of that.
You can see it in their haircuts. You got your kids cutting half their hair off.
Right.
Trying to be like Rihanna. That spirit be on them, man. It be on them so bad, it's sad. And then you just say, well, she's just trying to fit in. Fit into what? The devil?
Yes.
You fit into the devil. Well, the Most High say he brought us out of uncleanliness. He washed us and made us clean. We already did the whore. We already played the whore. Most High washed us when we was in our swaddling clothes. When we were dirty and filthy. So what, we going to hand that to our children? Read.
When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age. And being married, least she should be hated.
Why? Because she's doing it out of time. It's out of time. Like she's just, when it says being married means she's bending off and having sex. She wasn't given, right? It wasn't set up like it was in the ancient. She's just bending off and what? Topping the whole crew in the whip. Right?
I think it's cool.
Huh?
I think it's cool.
Go ahead.
And listen, and before you read that, notice that all you got to say to your kids is, she's so cute. She's so cute.
Yeah.
He's so cute. He's so cute. You know what that does? That builds them up to where they got this thing about them. It seduces them. To where now anybody that come like that, you so cute, they can get close to him.
Gassed up real quick.
Because it goes right with what you're just saying.
Yes, sir.
You got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Read.
Verse 10. In her virginity, least she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house.
Why? Because she's supposed to be out of the house, and her man and her husband, after they perform the ceremonies and the things the Most High set up, then they're supposed to be off with their own. But because you're a deadbeat parent, now you raising a child with a child in your house, but you mad at her. I see it all day in black neighborhoods. You got grandma living there with the daughter, the mom and the mom with the granddaughter.
And they're like, it's 4 generations.
And it's 4 generations in the house.
4 generation of hood rats.
Yeah, and but you mad at her because she just had a baby.
4 generation of hood rats.
And you
I'm
mad
proud
at
of it though. I'm proud of it. It's 4 generations, right?
Yeah. And they all
We're still
they
here.
all stubborn and nappy headed hoes.
Grandma got to see
Now this is where that word "hoe" is put in. Because why? Look at our people. And then they're the ones out in the streets, loud, boisterous, and then what? Raising the little kids just like that.
Perpetuating that life.
Perpetuating that life, man. Yeah.
And that's what's heavy. Like one of my nieces, my sister, she had a child young. Who knows if she had, abortion as well. My little niece got pregnant. What did they have? Took her right on down to the clinic. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So instead of teaching them righteous acts, they teach them what the world say. All right, let's go ahead and cuff this away real quick. You know what I'm saying? That's not even parenting, right? We're gonna teach after her child.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a steady process.
Man, listen, the Bible for all you Planned Parenthood people, the scripture says not to have your children pass through the fire or Molech.
Yeah.
You ain't supposed to be sacrificing these babies for your career.
Right.
And even those that sit amongst us in class, you can't sacrifice your child's education for a career. You gotta start reevaluating and deciding what's important to you.
Responsibility.
What are you investing in? Because they are our future. When I get old, I hope one of them come back and take care of me.
Right.
Because if they don't, where you gonna go? You're gonna be right over there learning how to shuck and jive for some change.
Right.
Or you gonna be trying to,
Or what they say is do some thing for some change.
Yeah,
Do
so-
something
do something strange. Do something strange.
Read. Ecclesiastes 42 and verse 10. In her virginity, lest she should be defiled and gotten with child in her father's house, and having a husband, lest she should misbehave herself. And when she is married, lest she should be barren.
read.
Verse 11. Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter.
Why? How you know she's shameless? Because when you come in, she all in men's faces.
Right.
She a child.
Mm-hmm. She looking at you right in the eyes like,
Yeah.
nigga, what?
You gotta see that. Wait, listen. She know. I see, man. I remember. I think this is the worst thing I seen when I was in the world. I was over this girl house, and while we was watching a movie, her little 16, 17-year-old daughter came downstairs in panties.
Okay. Playing games.
Now, in my mind, I wasn't even in the world. I mean, I'm not even built like that. But it caught me such a shock because it shows how hot they are.
Wow.
Because they're looking for a father. That's why when women have sex with men, they call them daddy. Because that's something they missed. Instead of them seeing that, I'm not your daddy. I'm your partner. I'm here to show you that there's two different types of thought process. You got that thought process in the world that you're trying to substitute through ill-mannered relationships. Then you got the thought process of the Most High that's supposed to be clean and pure. And it comes through understanding what we feed ourselves and what we give our children, man.
Yeah, you understand what he's saying, right?
He's saying it's okay to call your husband daddy.
Right.
But
you just can't call them daddy.
But you can't say daddy.
There you go.
Y'all know what he means, right? The psychological behind it. You know what I mean? I don't want them to think, it's a law. You can't call your husband daddy. We call him daddy. Call him daddy. He's your daddy. I mean, if my husband watching this kid daddy, then say daddy. But know this, psychologically, he's not your real daddy. You understand that?
Right. So,
No, read down.
Ecclesiastes 42 and verse 11. Keep a sure watch over a shameless daughter, lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemies.
why? Because not even the white man, just Chinese, Japanese. Look how they look at us in the malls.
Right.
They sit back and laugh like, these are Israelites. Hey, please. Look at y'all. You turn on Facebook, it's all twerk. Everything's twerk. Everything's twerk, everything's music, but the sad part is when you see the mama on YouTube, you see her page. No. She black and she
conscious.
She conscious.
Oh, she got the head wrap on.
Yeah, she conscious. She got the little nose ring thing. You know what I'm saying? She got her hair and her little what is it called? Nubian wrap.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She over there, Shalom, brothers and sisters.
Right.
I just want to send a shout out to Arahu Ahmad Magad Abadu. I'm like,
That's like Erica Badu, man.
Yeah.
Got her daughter dressed up for Halloween, man.
But you look at their kids.
Right.
You sit back. It's like those sisters take pictures. You look behind them and they room dirty.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? The priorities is killed. Like I seen one. I seen this one. Listen, this sister took a picture, and she was like, she was doing her thing, and the little boy was like this, looking at her, like, Mom, like it's crazy.
It's a shame. It's a shame. It's mockery.
Right.
And I know, we're laughing at it because it's
insane.
it's kind of like you gotta laugh away the crying. But listen, man, what are we taking our people out of? We got to take our people out of that, man. It's serious. When we fight daily, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about my son cutting his penis off and trying to act like a woman.
Right.
I'm fighting for him. That's what I'm thinking about. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about all our young black brothers, man, that every 12, 13-year-old is now switching.
Right.
I'm thinking about that. That's what we're fighting. We're fighting for our nation. While you sitting over here in Israelite soap opera because you can't get over your pride and your anger, your kids are still out there and they have to be taught.
In a war zone.
Yeah. Read down. Check this out. Read down.
Lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemy.
What verse are you at?
Ecclesiastes chapter 42 and verse 11.
Yeah, I'm going to read it out of the Annotated Bible and Apocrypha just because the wording, right? It says here, keep strict watch over a headstrong daughter. Right? That's what it means by shameless. She's headstrong, right? You're trying to get her in order and she want to go back at you. She want to question, right? Why? Because she got this from her mama, right? All that. Go ahead.
Lest she make thee a laughing stock to thine enemy.
Read.
And a byword in the city.
Right, and that's what happens, man. Look, we are a laughing stock to the nations. When they look at us, go and tell them we're the kings and priests of the earth, the black man. They laugh at us. I almost sometimes be like, is this real?
Right. You got your own people laughing at you.
Yeah, you like,
that's the hurtful part about it.
Like, how is it? Like, we the kings and priests? Niggas can't get along. We can't even think about it.
Right.
We can't get along, no unity. You know what I mean? You can't take that nappy ass weave out your head. You know what I mean? You can't, you don't teach your daughters how to douche, how to smell good, how to brush their teeth. You know what I mean? The guys that stink and nasty and dirty children, the little kids, you know what I mean? You ain't teaching your kids none of these standards, man.
Man,
What you think about it?
I met a woman who washed her body with her fingernails.
Huh?
That's insane.
Oh,
How
so-
do you do that?
Like,
So,
yeah, just soap and scratching. I was like, they got what's called washcloths. They call washcloths because you wash your body with it. And you don't use the body cloth on your face. Like that's how my mom brought me up. Like you got a face towel, you got a washcloth, and you got a towel you dry off with. Once you dry off with that towel, you don't use that towel to wipe your face off with.
Right.
Like these are things that were taught to those parents, but those parents are dead now. They're dying off. Now you got these little cats trying to hurry up and get out in the streets. So it's just jump in, jump out. Like I be watching it. I be watching in my relationship. It's a crazy thing, and I never told anybody this, but I actually pay attention to how long my rib be in the shower, because then it shows me that I have to. If she's not understanding that, if we had a child, that the same amount of time she's putting on herself, that's how much time my daughter gonna put on herself. So if you ain't taking time to clean yourself properly, you ain't gonna teach my daughter how to do that. So that means I have to watch now, and I have to be a stickler about your hygiene. And it shouldn't be like that, but it has to be like that.
It has to.
Yeah, because we had to get taught, man. Our parents, they were too busy getting high and wanting to go out and hang out. And now here we are with parents. This time is flying, man. And we're becoming adults, and we are adults, and some of us are children with children.
Yeah, you got to think about this generation is finna go quick. You know what I mean? I know I hit 20 and then pushing 40 quick. I don't even remember. I'm still feeling in my head I'm 25. You know what I mean? But no, you ain't 25 no more. You pushing 40. You know what I mean? So, and it jumps like that. And next you know, you made a lot of mistakes. You know what I mean? So, that's why it says, hear. Y'all need to listen. You need to hear. That way you don't have to make those mistakes that our forefathers did, the wicked, that the hard-headed did. Right? Go ahead, read on. Finish that up.
And a reproach among the people.
Go ahead.
And make thee ashamed before the multitude.
Right. Read.
Verse 12. Behold not everybody's beauty, and sit not in the midst of a woman.
Right. You know why I said that? Because when you go into the daughters, see, this is still about the daughters. Yeah. Okay. You said it earlier. Oh, she's pretty. Look at your hair. Well, you got Indian in your family. Look at you. Right? You like pumping that kid's head up.
Right.
I go to my daughter, I'd be like, you ugly.
Right. Read that book, please.
Now I tell her, like, you ugly. Look at your teeth. Look at this. She look in the mirror, start looking at herself. She know I'm joking, but you know why? You told you cute too many times. You know what I mean? That gets in your head if you don't know about humility. The Most High ain't looking at you. He ain't looking at you for how you look on the hour.
Right, and the word cute means sex.
Yeah, cute. Yeah, thank you.
Cute is sex. That's why I prefer for nobody to call my children cute, because it registers as sex. And you got to see that, man. If you got this, for us to be adults and we dealing with y'all, that's why children that have Hebrew names should not have nicknames. We're the children of the Most High. You got to see.
Say that one more time, my brother. What? Say that one more time.
I say the children that have Hebrew names should never have a nickname.
Do you understand that? You can't have a powerful name like Killer for Christ, destroying all nations, and then your name is Boo Boo.
Right.
Like, how'd you get from Killer to Doo Doo to Boo Boo? You understand that? Manatazak means conquer. It's a name that I said when my next son I'm gonna name Conquer. You can't take Conquer Manatazak and name him Manny. Manny is like I'll be fair about this, Issacharite car workman, or old child white child molester.
Oh wow.
You understand? You can't take your name is Conqueror. Conqueror, that's powerful.
Right.
Or just say conqueror in English.
Right.
Don't call perfect eye. Perfect timing when we're talking about kids. These Israelite kids, the whole point of giving them a Hebrew name because they're Hebrew Israelites, not to bring them back into a damn Greek mind.
Right.
You understand that? That's why I told my kids, his name is not Warlock. His name is Ma'awarla. Ma'awarla. Don't give my kids no nicknames. You know what I mean? They're already going to do that at school. You understand? They're already going to do that at school. The kids ain't going to know how to say it. They're going to do that. Why the hell would you do that in the body?
Right.
Why'd you give him a Hebrew name? You should have just gave him Bill.
William.
Yeah, Billy. It would have been fine. You understand that? So stop that. And you brothers that are doing that, stop that. It says train a child, right? In the way in which he shall go, right? If you train him, right? And you constantly tell your child, you're not Manatazak, you're Manny, then what is your child going to think?
Manny.
I'm not conqueror. I'm not the conqueror. Your name means conqueror. You should be ready to kill 144,000 Edomites with the jawbone of an ass. But now, you're not conqueror, you're what? Manny. Stop giving your kids Hebrew names. Your children with Hebrew names, stop giving them nicknames like that. And stop teaching the kids to do that. Y'all got that? Don't encourage it. Don't encourage it. All right? Perfect timing on that. The Spirit needed to bring that out. Yeah.
And I remember we was talking about that one day. It was about how it makes it almost seem like you live in a double life.
There you go.
So it's really not even gonna keep it 100 even when you.
Yeah, we already got to explain to them our slave names.
Right.
Like you got to tell them, listen, my name is Bob. Really, it's that way. When the cops come, you be like Kazakia. You know what I mean? Like who's Kazakia? That's my dad. No, You got to tell them that's my slave name for the slave master. You got to know that, right? It's already a battle. You can't be forcing that stupidity on them. Y'all get that? Train a child in the way which he shall go, and when he get older, he will be conqueror. Right? You want him to be conqueror, or the guy jacking off next door on Facebook named Manny? Huh? Which one? Now, why am I on that name? Because that's Manatazak is a powerful name. It means conqueror. That's beautiful. You understand? You put that in a kid's mind, man. Yeah, your name means conqueror. It's like, yeah. Well, what does conquer mean? Let's go. Let's look up the definition. He's like, yeah, I want to conquer some, right? Right. Esau, man, they water that down. They take away your strength, right? You know what I mean? All the Hebrew names. You know what I mean? You're naming your kids, man. Go ahead, though. Just jump back on it.
Because remember, before they took, when you watch that movie with Kunta Kinte, the first thing they took from him was his name.
Right.
You got to see that. You got to remember that. When you give your child these names, kid, you can't willingly take it from them. You know what I'm saying? And we fight to come back to who we are, and what we represent is the Most High, and our names have meaning.
Wait, let me finish this chapter, though. We got to finish this. Read 12 again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 42 and verse 12. Behold not everybody's beauty.
Now, check this out. Look, this is how you know it's on the same topic. It says here, do not let her parade her beauty before any man.
Right. Okay.
That's cold, ain't it? Like, because why? You got them at young age. How many Israelites need this, man?
Right.
Tell me, this class is on point, How many young sisters need this to know how to raise their kids? How to not parade them around and dress them sexy at 9 and 10 and 11. What?
They're doing that 2 and 3, like on Instagram.
Yeah, thank
little
you.
Kids, little girls. But really, like right now, the vibe right now on Facebook and Instagram, it's all about beauty. It's all about what I look like. You know what I'm saying? But they really ain't on the inside.
Right. It's called Photoshop and what's the other one? Not airbrush, but they do the filters. Airbrush and filters. Because you don't look like that. You don't look like that. You stop it. Right. They said, do not let her parade her beauty before any man.
Right.
Or spend her time among married women.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it's showing you. You got these children sitting around. Girl. Yeah, you're right. So what you did? So he broke your back 75 ways for real. I'm trying to show you how terrible we are. I'll act it all out. Because I want you to go home and look in the mirror and either kill yourself or change.
Right.
You know what I mean? Kill yourself or change. Don't kill yourself. They be like, damn, for real? It's like that? Kill yourself? Change. The Most High said, put off the old man, put on the new man, the new woman. That's what's supposed to be happening. Y'all get that? You know what I mean? Your kids are going to learn that. That's why I'm saying this. Verse 13.
Verse 13. For from garments cometh a moth.
It's still on the same point. It's still on the same topic. Yeah, no, it's showing you you got this carnal revealing and showing what carnal is, what's gonna be the outcome.
Right.
Carnal, death.
That's why.
Right?
That's why Most High said, "Build your treasure in heaven, where moth and corrupt do not, where
Moth and rust do not corrupt. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And from women, wickedness.
You see that? Now you see why it's going into this? Because when you read it in context, it's talking about the daughter, how you give your daughter over this. So you're sending your kids around wicked women. You're sending your daughters around wicked women. What are they going to be? They're going to learn wicked ways. From that garment comes the moth.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead.
Verse 14.
Uh-huh.
Better is the churlish.
You skip some? No,
it.
No, go ahead, read on.
Better is the churlishness of a man than a courteous woman. Than a man than a courteous woman.
Right. Better is the wickedness of a man than a woman who who does good. Woman who does good. Better is the witness. Okay, they worded that all wrong here. That's why I said you gotta go through these. But y'all see that, right? You see how it goes down and it's still talking about a woman, right? And how you deliver your daughter over to these things. Okay? That's it on that. You got that? Okay.
So give me that proverb. Give me Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 15.
Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 15.
Y'all got it?
Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 15. The rod and reproof give wisdom.
Why? Because you're showing your children structure. You're giving them structure. So when you put your hands on them, you got to correct them and move them a certain way. That's love. Read.
But a child left to himself bringeth his mother to shame.
Why? Because now they're doing things that you didn't teach them to do. Because if you don't spend time with your child, the devil will.
Right.
The devil is very, very eager to get his hands on them. And you got to see that, and you're gonna be put to shame, because when you watching TV and the news flash pop on and there's your son's face on there,
Right.
then you gonna understand when you can't show up for y'all out there in the world. Y'all gonna be with your friends, and I remember I did it, man. I brought my mom to shame. You know, I used to be into guns and drugs and hustling, and I did something, and they should know I was on the news.
Right.
And she had to go to church with that. And the women were like, wasn't that your son on there? Think of that. We got the wisdom now.
But you lived.
Yeah.
These kids this day, they on the news and just getting murked.
Now the police icing them ASAP. 12 years old, making them bite the curb, killing them. And ain't no get back. And now you gotta live with that because you didn't take no time.
Right.
Read.
Verse 16. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth, but the righteous shall see their fault.
Read.
Verse 17. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest.
Why? Because if you give him something, it's like this. If I raise my child up the right way, if I go upstairs and lay down, I ain't gotta worry about him sleeping nobody in the house or sleeping out.
Right.
Why? Because I can trust him. You gotta build that trust with your child, man. They should not see pleasure in the world when you're in the truth. You're supposed to be, you know why the truth is so miserable? Because you make it miserable.
Right.
You don't make it fun for the kids. You this miserable, dark soul that comes to class because you have to.
Because you see the change. You see the change as a burden. You see the change in the rebuking and the correction as a burden. But now, put back in your mind, look at your kids. Look at the love you have to pour into your kids. The attention, we're going over the attention, the discipline, the order. Sometimes they got to get beat, right? Because you love them. Well, the Most High does the same thing with us. That same spirit goes right to your kids, that rebelliousness. Man, what does the Most High call us? A rebellious nation. The children of Israel, right? Why? Because we're rebellious children. Same context, man, when you deal with your children. Same thing. If you're rebellious, they're going to be that. So once you start having a joy for the word, for the life that is coming into you, then you'll be teaching your kids with that joy. It'll be fun. Right?
Done.
Real quick, give me Colossians, man. Give me Colossians chapter 3, verse 21.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 21.
Matter of fact, read verse 20.
Verse 20. Children, obey your parents in all things.
In some things.
All things.
See, us as being children of the Most High, we gotta obey these scriptures first and foremost. And then the children, there ain't no options. There ain't no options. I look at my son like I break him down. When I tell you to do something, bro, you need to handle it. I'm not telling you to do nothing wicked. I'm telling you according to what is necessary and what needs to be done in the house. But a lot of y'all talk to y'all children like you negotiating with them. And then you wonder why they do it half-assed, to say. They don't do it the way it's supposed to be done. Because you talk to them like, you know, I done seen it in the past where, you know, parents deal with their children like they their friend.
Right.
Instead of their parent. And then when you get brought to shame, you look stupid. Read.
For this is well pleasing unto the Lord.
Read.
Verse 21. Fathers, provoke not your children to anger.
And us as being the men, we gotta learn compassion. You can't be running up on your child like a beast.
Right. Just right what you're saying. It's not, he's not saying that like we just gotta, every time they say something, they're supposed to fear you. You know what I mean? It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be, when you say friend, you know how Esau was, Esau raised their kids? Yeah. That's not how we're supposed to raise
our
kids.
What I mean by friend is like this. I seen a mama with some spandex pants on, right, and her daughter with a pair of spandex pants on.
Right, not friends in like, you can talk, you can communicate with each other on a high level. You know what I mean? And they respect you. Yeah. He's not saying it that way. He's saying it the other way.
Right, I remember my daughter got caught having sex in the house. And her mama was like, well, I ain't gonna beat her. I'm just gonna let her know if she get pregnant, she gotta go. So they built this relationship where I'm gonna go ahead and take you to get some birth control. And you just let me know who you're gonna be sleeping with. Come on, man. My daughter was 16. And she'd have been in neutral because I'd have beat the brakes off of her. Right? That's real. But then we got to see that the blame comes to us, because if you educate them early, proper prevention prevents poor performance. You got to remember that. When you're dealing with these children, when you're dealing with these scriptures, you got to prepare properly.
You said it again?
Proper preparation prevents poor performance. You got to think of that. When you're dealing with your children, when you're dealing with, even at work, that's a job, that's a model at certain companies. You get up early, you handle your business, you cross your T's, you dot your I's. You got to do that for your kids, man. You got to take time, and you got to really dig into their spirit. And like, I sit back a lot of times and I just watch. And I let them do their thing, and I laugh at them because I don't let them get under my skin because they're children. I know my strength. If I slap them, I probably break something. Why? Because I'm dealing with the loss of family members. I'm dealing with the loss of free time. I may not be getting heard in a certain area. I may be dealing with a certain emotional thing. Me and my significant, or me and my wife, or me and my husband may not be in that agreement right now, so you slap him and knock him out because you don't have no gauge on your anger. Then you done broke something. Now you got to take them to the hospital and lie to them, and kids ain't going to lie. Kids going to go right in the room and tell. Yep, my mom was mad because my dad slapped her, and she was sitting on the couch, and then when I spilled the juice on the rug, she got up and she slapped me.
Right, he had 40 pounds under there.
Yeah. I think he went to go get some ice. Come on, man, I seen it on YouTube. Kid popped it off straight to the police. Police pulled up. Why do you think the police ride through your neighborhood and play friendly to your kids?
Right.
So they can find out info. I see it all the time. I grew up in it. They do the officer friendly thing. Hey, how you doing, Bobby? I got a Snickers for you, Bobby. What's going on today? What's up with them niggas around the corner?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I be like, well, you know, OG still got that Glock under the car. He been having it there forever. And then, you know, little talk. Why? Because you don't train your kids not to, first of all, you should have that in their face to know what a Glock is.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? 6-year-olds knowing how to pull. No, you got to understand these are last days, and Satan is coming down with great wrath, knowing that his time is short. Right. And your kids is prime. Especially, and you know it's sad, I hate to say this, but especially brothers and sisters in the truth.
Ooh.
Because y'all got this mind state like it ain't gonna happen to y'all. Cause y'all safe now. Y'all good.
Well, he said he's gonna start in his house first.
Exactly. Where you think the dirty laundry gonna come from first? You think, like he said, how you gonna build your house in the Most High's house lay waste? You think he gonna let you bring just anything in? That's like you gotta really pay attention to the things in the mind state you come into these doors with. You think you're gonna half-ass it with the Most High? Like, yo, you think you're doing me a favor because you showed up? No, that's between you and the Most High. Because your household, you know how you can tell a person is an infidel? By the household. The scriptures tell you you're an infidel, you're an unbeliever. How can I tell? Because none of the scriptures are being applied in your house except the pork. Because you don't want to get caught. See, that's a physical thing. The pork is a physical thing. But try applying the scriptures. Yo, let's get up and pray. Your kids should know the East. I don't even know hey, if we need to pray, I can't ask your kid, well, where's the East at? Because you won't pray with them. I can't ask you, hey, and let's say I forgot. What high holy day coming up? You got a calendar on the wall showing where Thanksgiving coming, but you can't show me when the Passover is. You know what I'm saying? What you occupying your mind with? What you occupying your time with? Your kids is your future. You a gun-ho Israelite, but your kids ain't got no structure, ain't got nothing. But then we get these strangers that come off the streets and sit down and look at your kids. They're looking at your kids. Their kids more well behaved than yours. But you're gonna blame it on the fact that you gotta work, hand out flyers, do garments, street teach, work tomorrow. Bro, come on, man. The Most High said we become all things to all men. That means we may win some. We're supposed to be a parent, a friend, a lover, a counselor. They should see the motivational speaker in us. Yeah, but there shouldn't be no they being able to creep in and spy on our liberty. Be like, nah, I'm straight. We should already know what they're here to do. Somebody should be able to come in here and influence. But because we don't teach ourselves and we don't teach our children, you get these little kids come in and start showing our kids what to do. Look, let me show you how to like that. Next thing you know, your kid in the cut doing something that he didn't learn here. He learned it because you didn't teach him the things to look out for.
To reject that, yeah.
Yeah. Give me let's go to Proverbs. No, let's go to Proverbs 22 and 15.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 15. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from him.
See, you got these children that the only thing they gonna correct them is a whoop.
Right?
That's why you see more and more they disrespect the elderly people. You be outside, man, they just treating old people like garbage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then they come here and they got these things, man, but we got to correct them. Read it again.
Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child.
Because that's all they know. They don't know nothing else. Until we take things from them. When you take something from a child, this is the worst parenting skill ever. You see your child playing with something that they're not supposed to play with, so you take it from them. But you don't give them nothing else. So they just wandering around trying to figure out what to play with. Because you ain't educating them. Give me that. Don't you play with this. So they're like, okay. So what I'm supposed to play with? You ain't telling me nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to see when you take something, you got to put something back. If you take something from a child, you got to give it back to them. You got to give them something. You got to educate them. Listen, you can't drink out of glasses because if you drop it and break it and step on it, you cut your foot off. These are your cups right here. So then you've explained it to them. So if you catch them with the glass, after you correct them again, you let them know, I'm not going to tell you again. The next time you will get a whooping. These are your cups because I don't want to have to take you to the hospital, get you stitched up. And you got to tell them that. So then when they see the glass, they see the cup, they look at the glass, they think about the whooping, they get their cup. So you ain't got to keep telling them the same thing over and over and over because you just give me this. You don't use this. So that's all they know. And you see them, man. They be running around like little Tasmanian devils, just trying to find something to play with. Instead of you telling them and educating them. It takes love to educate. Why? Because you gotta communicate. A lot of y'all don't even want to communicate with your kids. You happy with just coming home, you punch that clock. Because I always talk about Israelite clocks. There's many clocks. You got the work clock, the family clock, the relationship clock, the time with you clock, the on my own clock. You just click, 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 click. And the whole time your kid's back here like, well, what about me? I got to do this real quick. Y'all go in there. I let my mama put this cartoon on that I don't even know what's showing. And then I'm going to come up to the cartoon like, it's the Winky dude. And we know the Winky all over. You know? And the kid's like, for real, you got to see it. I'm telling you, it's crazy. And the kids be there like, I'm a Winky all over. For real, G, it's crazy. And you sit there, and then you thinking like, where they learn that nasty stuff from? You want to see my Winky dude? I'm telling you. Yeah, Teletubbies, all this stuff. You got to watch it. It's perverted. The way they move and do this, they be like, And then the kids, because they put it in the form, they be like,
That's real.
I'm telling you. And y'all just in the other room.
And they be sodomites. A lot of them be behind the scenes sodomites.
Yeah. They said one dude on a cartoon used to do his cartoon show with no pants on.
Then you know it.
Come on, you didn't even know that. It was a perfect thing. This thing had no pants on underneath the whole time. Come on, they just, listen, not too long ago, you remember they busted the judge that had on lingerie under his robe?
Look at that.
Come on, man, there's defilement out there. He sentenced in cats and he got on lingerie.
Yeah,
A nice edible thong.
You gotta see, man, what we giving ourselves to, and then because we so caught up in paying bills, that's why the devil keep giving them to you. That's why you keep getting bills. That's why your only thought process is bills. I got another bill. We got this bill. I don't want to get that because that's another bill. And all the time, the kids over there like, damn.
All these distractions.
Yeah, and your kids over there just starving. And then as soon as somebody come over and say, you cute, it's over. Why do you think all these kids get snatched up? Every day my heart be crying because I can't, there's two things I can't watch: child abduction and police brutality.
Right.
I hate to see my little sisters and brothers get snatched up
Thank you.
by these heathens, and our children are being sacrificed to their gods. While you over here playing video games, while you over here arguing in your relationship, while you over here trying to figure out if you can claim this one for income tax or can you, or I'll take him. Do we got a social? It's like, come on, man, this your kid. This your kid. Nigga, you supposed to invest in this. Or what's gonna happen? The streets. The streets gonna eat them alive.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Give me Proverbs. No, give me 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 14.
2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 14.
Come.
Of these things, put them in remembrance, charging them before the Lord that they strive not about words to no profit.
Read.
But to the subverting of the hearers.
I'm sorry, hold on real quick. Chapter 3, verse 14. No, yes, 2 Corinthians chapter 3.
You said 2 Timothy.
Wait.
You talking about
Timothy.
but continue those things that which has learned?
Right. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 14.
2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of,
Read.
knowing of whom thou hast learned them,
Read.
and that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures,
Read.
which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is Yahushua.
So it ain't no TV program that's going to make us wise. It's the word of the Most High. It's the word of God. There's no TV show, man, that you can stick your son or your daughter in front of and that's going to pacify their soul.
No hidden covers.
You cats is making these, you're making these substitutions for your children's soul. And you don't understand the only thing that's going to be, why you won't put them, they make biblical cartoons. You got Bible cartoons. Why it gotta be Superman?
Right.
Why it gotta be that?
Disney.
Disney. It's This nigga got Disney on, and your son is a Hebrew Israelite. Your daughter is a Hebrew Israelite. At what time do they study for their test? You got to see, man, you train up a child a certain way, they'll have that in their spirit. It'll be there naturally. They won't have to study 9 years for a soldier's test. Why? Because it'll be in their spirit. They already know. What age was Moses? What age was Abraham? Who was Melchizedek? Why? They'll know these things. What was the difference between Melchizedek and Christ? It'll be in their spirit. What does the word behoove mean? What is that? And you know what they'll do? They'll look at you, and when you'll be able to sit back and like Benaiah, watch him read the Bible, break it down too, know exactly what it's saying. Why? Because the investment was different. It was in his spirit. It wasn't him just watching Power Rangers all day. Dun, 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 dun. As soon as they hear it, they look up. But come on, let us stand and face the east. They running off to go play because they like, yeah, I ain't with that one. Yeah. That ain't what I'm on right now. I'm on that. Dun, 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 dun. Oh shit, Power Rangers is on. But come on, man, you got to see they the next generation. I see that even with my son. This nigga wake up before he washes his face and grab a remote control to the PlayStation. So, and I'm already setting up a game plan for him. I'm 2.5 days ahead of him. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm on it. I'm laying breadcrumbs and everything. I'm coming back to the same trail I laid for him just to show him that you ain't did nothing that I already didn't do. We've been there. My mom used to tell me, listen, what you think? Because I tell you, cut the phone off, the TV off at 10, you gonna watch TV on your phone? Come on, bro, I'm smashing all that. Because I already know. But see, you give them enough rope to hang themselves. That way you be justified in your movements. When you take things from them and you start moving. Now, you know why? Because they be sneaking to do it. Yeah. So they know it's wrong when you catch them. So you ain't got to take it from them first and foremost. You give them enough rope to let them hang themselves. Then you come back and correct them and show them, listen, I ain't taking it and hiding it. It's going to be sitting right here. Touch it. Like my mom used to do. It's right there. Fully charged. Touch it. I dare you. Why? Because we're going to see who's going to sleep bad tonight. Nigga, I ain't got to put hands on you. I'll treat you old school. I had you stand in the corner like a little white boy. Like a little white boy. You be in that corner too. I'll be getting up there to shout. I'm not lying to you. I remember my mom had me in the corner so long that I had my head on the wall, my shoulder on the wall, my hip on this wall, my knee on this wall to sleep. I mean, I was in the corner forever. Bro, I had mastered sleeping and standing up in the corner. I was like, what? But that's what we need to come back to. Because it ain't all about a smack. You damaging it. Every time, like, everything can't be a smack. There gotta be some extremities. Like, you gotta be able to show them the difference between things that are normal. Like, children do normal things. They're children. But everything ain't a backhand or a smack or a boot or whatever you use, man. You gotta show that there's gauges to punishment.
Yeah, and that's a lot of brothers think that's the way, Israelites do it. Like, you just beat them. Spread around, spoil the child. Yeah. No, it's supposed to be a balance of wisdom and understanding dealing with these kids. Discipline, but yet love. You have to win your kids over. If you win them over, you don't really need to beat them. You know what I mean? My kids start crying when we just talking about a whooping. You know what I mean? Like, listen, do I really have to beat this guy? They start, and I don't even beat them. We don't even whoop them. We don't whoop them, but I'm like, we don't want to have to go to this guy. I don't want to be that guy. We're supposed to be in order. You just start talking about wisdom, they respect that. We need to get all of our kids like that. Even though, not saying my kids are righteouser than thou, but as a body, and we're all working together, when they come over Shay's, they're supposed to respect Shay like their mama. You know what I mean? They go over Abadiah's, same thing. I only respect my mama. Everybody else, you ain't nothing. We got to go back to old school. When Granny walking down the block, you know what I mean? Your kids running up to any woman elder and helping them. You know what I mean? Not just because you joined the Girl Scouts. Yeah. We're supposed to be instilling that in our kids, man, to respect our people, respect their elders, respect their nation. Not like these little gremlins, man, that's being raised on TV and YouTube. But go ahead. We only got 10 minutes left.
All right, well, listen, finish that up real quick. Read verse 15.
2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 15. And that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith which is in Yahushua.
Read.
All scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof.
For reproof. This is what you're supposed to use when you're dealing with your children.
Mm-hmm.
Read.
For correction.
Correction.
Right.
When you're dealing with your child. It ain't you. A lot of times you got to get them to fear the Most High, because then when you ain't around, that's who they gonna think about.
Right. See, you know what? A lot of the concepts and examples we can only use if it's established in the spirit. You know what I mean? Like his examples gotta come from the. Like I can only go to the scriptures and give you examples off that. Examples that was used right in the spirit. Because really, come on now. The parents know how to whoop their kids? No. You know what I mean? They beat their kids to death. The parents know how to discipline their kids. So really pay attention to the concepts that's being used. It's not just random, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, I'm going to do everything mama did. Because she didn't do everything right. She didn't do everything in the spirit. You understand that? So we can only give advice, the right advice, according to what the word says. See? Because our parents didn't do it according to the word. They didn't do everything according to the word. Y'all see that? That's where we're going to be more balanced. We're going to be more just in what we do. Right? Because we have the word. That's what makes us greater.
Man, I remember when my mom's best friend caught her daughter kissing and she put a hot spoon on her lips.
What?
Like, that's what they used to do when they were kids. When their kids were kids, that's what they did. They caught you kissing, they heated up the spoon, touched the lips.
Wow.
It's crazy. But that's what the punishment was. You can't bring that here. And you going to jail, your kids gonna disappear, you never gonna see them again. Touch them with a spoon if you want to. That's insane.
My dad, my brother lit up the bed on fire. You know what I mean? And it just, you know, we had those old beds where the stuff was coming out. Those old 80 beds. You know what I mean? He lit it on fire. My dad was like, you want to play with fire? Walked him out with his drawers. Lit his drawers on fire right there in front of us. We never played with fire again. Hey, that's old school right there. But that's you can't do that. You know what I mean? You can't do that these days. You know what I mean? But he never played with fire. Hey, lit his drawers on fire in front of me. You know what I mean?
First you better walk him out.
Yeah, he got burnt. He got burnt. He got burnt a little bit. No, that was Kazakabar.
Listen. Hey, I used to, on the real, I dealt with this girl she was a real good friend of mine back home in Chicago, and her son wouldn't stop playing with fire. So he lit her grandmother's curtains on fire, playing with matches, started a fire and threw it behind the match. He got scared. The same night after he got a whooping, he started playing with the fire again. And his mama woke up because they could smell it burning in the house. And he had lit something else the same day. And I just happened to be coming from doing my thing, and I saw her front door open. I went over there, and I was like, what you doing up so late? She was like, man, I'm scared to go to sleep. She said, this little dude keep playing with fire. She said, I don't know what to do. I said, I'm not his daddy. I know what to do. I said, but at the same time, you can't never tell his daddy I did this. You know what I'm saying? And she on the real, but check this out. So she like, the family's so scared. So what I did was I made him strip down to his underwear. I cut all 4 pilot lights on the stove. I grabbed one arm and one leg. She grabbed one arm and one leg. And we lifted him up so he could feel what his family would be feeling if they couldn't wake up from the smoke.
But let me put the disclaimer there. You weren't in the truth.
No.
You were not a Hebrew Israelite.
No.
You did not have this knowledge.
Didn't have this knowledge.
So you're talking about when you was in the world.
Right. The things that
Okay.
we used to
Yeah.
correct.
Did they cut that all out? And then you put that part. Like, this is what Hebrew Israelites do. They burn you over the stove. No. Alright?
That's terrible. No, but look at the methods we use to punish children instead of taking them to the scriptures and showing them
Extremes.
what what you do, consequences. These things are already written. Read that though. It'll tell you right here, read it.
For correction, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of the Most High may be perfect.
And that's the thing is everything in the book is written for everything we need, whether it be correction, whether it be how to train a child. I mean, everything is in this book, so we don't have to go to extreme measures like grabbing a child and putting them over a fire,
Right.
or
Like
putting a
they
hot
draws.
spoon
Like
on-
they draws
yeah,
on fire.
yeah, like they draws on fire. But this is last scripture because I know we got run out of time. Go to Hebrews chapter 12, verse 9.
Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 9. Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we give them reverence. Shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live?
Listen, the Most High, and also these men that are taking time to really care and to take time, put classes together, to take time to show us our faults. We gotta really take these thoughts and these scriptures into consideration when we making our decisions. We Hebrew Israelites, we work together, we eat together, we mourn together, we laugh together, we pray together. So we gotta be able to understand when we're not on point, we have to be able to receive correction together. Read.
Verse 10. For they verily for a few days chastened us after their own pleasure.
See, the way we dealt with our children wasn't to kill them. It was, we had to chasten them so they can bring us up. So when they grow up, we can see the pleasure in that. All that hard work paid off. Why? Because you kept them, like the scripture said, you put a hedge around a woman. You got to put a head around your child. Read.
But he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness.
Read.
Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous.
And it seems like that. Even when Christ the Most High is chastising us, like the scripture is relating to, it's also showing that as even being a child and being a parent. It ain't always, you remember when you used to say this gonna hurt me more than it hurt you? We ain't always want to do that, man, but it's gotta be done. It's gotta be, your kids should not overpower you. Read.
Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby.
Why? Because when you put them through those situations and those changes, then you see the righteousness come out of it. You start seeing them have restrictions and restraints from the things they would do if you didn't say nothing. And you got to see that, man. I remember my uncle, his wife gave away his kids while he was at work. Because every time she cleaned up the house, she had 3 kids. And every time she cleaned up, they tore the house up. So one day my uncle came home and my little cousins was gone. She gave him to an adoption agency. He never got his kids back. And it should never be to a point where a parent can get rid of children, because that's not going to solve anything. Now you done broke up a man's family because number one, she should have been able to communicate with her husband because y'all a partner.
Right.
It says a partner, one who partakes or shares. It says there's a partnership involved. So y'all got to remember that DCFS is not the answer. Abortion clinics is not the answer. Giving your kids over to the system is not the answer. Sending them off to the military is not the answer. You know what I'm saying? Letting them have gay rights is not the answer. Letting them speak freely is not the answer. The word of the Most High is the answer.
Right.
So with that, I'm going to say shalom.
Right there about Shemel Shai. Y'all got any questions on that? There's a lot more on this topic, man. There was a good class, really good, but it was needed. It's needed because there's a lot of new sisters coming in. We had 15 people on there, man. Brothers and sisters in Arizona. We got more than that? Yeah. 21? Oh, I thought. Okay. Barakatah, how about Shemel Shai? Y'all brothers and sisters in Arizona, we want to get back out there. I know there's a few of y'all looking. We want to get back out to Dallas. You know what I mean? We want to do a lot of things, man. And we're going to get to do that. We ain't going to forget about you. But y'all need to keep tuning into class and everything. If anybody got any questions, finishing it up, remember we have Sabbath morning classes. Sabbath morning class. After we go over the prayers, we
class will go live and we do the reading. Okay, Big Bro Mashaba was saying it was a good class. I guess he was watching, so that's, y'all know Mashaba, right? Y'all been getting a little taste of Mashaba lately? Y'all like how he teach? That's old school, man. We all been raised, you know what I mean, up under the same cats. So, he's going to be coming out more often also, him and Barnabas. Hanukkah's coming up. When? December 5th? Okay, did we schedule anything for that?
No, what we do is we do a day in California, so we're gonna get that.
Oh, Hanukkah's the 7 day. Right. Oh, right. So we're doing the 7 days. All right, so Hanukkah, we would be doing the 7 days, again, feasting at the, no, listen, you know why we do that? Who knows why we do the 7 days? Obviously to commemorate the Hanukkah, the Feast of Lights, but why else?
Everybody can partake.
Unity. There's a lot of brothers and sisters that just show up just for class, right? Those days, we try to set it up to where you can actually sit down, get and talk to brothers and sisters and get to know them. A brother's going through adversity. What?
And get fed.
And get fat, yeah. A lot of getting fat, you know what I mean? But this Hanukkah, for our brother Tahawam, because he's got diabetes and he's been battling that. We're gonna be doing a lot of healthy dishes. You know what I mean? So to let him know that we're riding with him, we're gonna be doing a lot of healthy dishes. You know what I mean? He has to go vegan, he has to go raw. You know what I mean? We want to show him we got his back. So, and sisters can make vegan and raw taste like meat. So it's all good. You know what I mean? They've done it before many of times. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do for this high holy day. So that's coming up from the 5th to what? The 5th, 7 days to 7 days, right? So if you in H-Town, that's what we're gonna be doing. When Hanukkah does happen, we most likely won't have class because we're gonna be feasting every night. So if San Antonio does not do the feast every night, what we'll do is we'll be linking y'all to them. San Antonio is going to be starting a San Antonio ISBHPK classes also. Okay, I think some of them might fall on the same night, but they're gonna be pre-recorded just like us, so y'all can get a taste of them also. We all speak the same thing, coming in the same spirit, different points that is going to be brought out, just like from when Lakama teaches to I teach. That's how San Antonio is. So look out for that. So if we don't have class here online in Houston, we want y'all to listen in to San Antonio, and y'all already got a taste of them. Y'all brothers and sisters online, Mashaba and Banabad. Those brothers that came down from San Antonio when we were in Arizona, those are the same brothers. We've been riding together for over 20-something years. They ain't brothers. They like family, all right? They are family, so.
We do this as a family.
Right. So Hanukkah's coming up, so prepare for that. Okay, what else? What other announcements? We're going to get ready to start preparing for Passover. The garments and Passover. Are you brothers and sisters that's online, that's going to come to, we're doing it in Houston, right? That you brothers and sisters that's online that want to help out with the Passover, the location, the lamb, and all those things, prepare for that. We have to give to get that rolling. Don't beat yourself up if you broke. You know what I mean? We're saying for the brothers and sisters that do got the money. You know what I mean? Don't beat you. We don't want to know, well, I ain't got no money, so I ain't gonna go. It ain't like that. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen. But we ask everybody to put in. You know what I mean? Put in for the Passover, and that's the big one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Hanukkah, we know everybody ain't gonna come from other states, but Passover, everybody, the Most High ordained everybody to partake in that. All right. So that's going to be coming up late March, early April. But we start now because we have to get the location, we have to get the garments done, and San Antonio comes up. We got other brothers from other states come up, and we expect everybody that is coming to class, listening to class, to partake in that. All right? All right. What other announcements? If you're in H-Town, you need to get in class. Sundays, if you didn't notice, we have classes for the kids. All the parents come in, and we do a class, and they're going to be doing events for the kids. So we're trying to get that in order. We eventually want to get that to where Sundays, we have classes with the kids, then the sisters and the kids will go out and do some type of something for the community. You know what I mean? Whether we go get food, whether we, you know what I mean? We got to do something for the community. So we want to get that rolling. So, you know, anybody got any wisdom on that? Donations, food donations that we can do that, monies, papers, pens, computers, whatever you want to give, alms wise, would be appreciated, right? All right. So, what else? I'm not going to keep hitting y'all with that. We're trying to travel. Before we said we was going to use his mobile home, it's too old for what we want to do. You know what I mean? I think we end up getting like $100 from that anyway. But his mobile home ain't going to do it. So anybody knows of any government funds, we're trying to get that rolling now. But we never know what brother or sister out there got access and wisdom in all of these areas. So we're just throwing it out there. If you got, we're trying to get donations. We want to get a mobile home to where when we shoot out to Arizona, we stay out there in the mobile home. We don't have to impose on you or your family. We can stay in the mobile home, spend out 2 weeks out there, shoot from there, shoot to Dallas, shoot back to Atlanta, you know what I mean, and go teach. You know what I mean? Then I have to be a burden on brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? That's how we want to do it. So whatever, wisdom and knowledge you got that can help us, donations, funds, whatever, you know what I mean, we would appreciate it. So you know where to hit us up. My number is 321-960-8411. Okay? All right, and anything else? No? Okay. So with that, everybody in class, and salute them online. Say shalom.
Shalom.
All right. So I